Hi, I'm Hazel. Welcome to our weekly Friday live stream. I hope that you guys are well, and I am really excited for just the most exciting type of WoW content there is to play today on stream. Today, we're going to do some really cool fishing. The coolest fishing. Pretty much any fishing that we decide to do. Kitty is looking like she might want to come up. I was thinking about pretending that I've trained my cat to jump on my lap by going, Kitty, up! Or, you know, something that makes it look like I'm making it happen. But that would be a blatant lie because Kitty makes it vastly apparent when she wants to come up on my lap. And I can't really take credit for that at all. I just have to really, you know, acquiesce to any demands that cat makes on us. And they're very reasonable. She's a very reasonable cat. You know, she wants cuddles. She likes laps. And that's about it. She doesn't really beg for food. You have to really shoo her away from your food if you have anything dairy. Like, we don't give her milk because it's not good for cats, but she doesn't know that, and she desperately wants milk or anything, like yogurt, ice cream, all of that. Whipped cream. She'll be all up in your business trying to get some. But we don't let her have any of that. Hi, Kristen. Fishing stream. Susie. Pickles. Motor Daffodil. Scarlet. Sup, guys? Okay. I now have cat on my lap. I also have this ratty looking bunny that is actually warm. It's one of those things that you get like a bag that you can stick in the microwave for a bit, and then you have a very warm thing, and that'll probably go on my lap if this one ever leaves. I'm feeling quite under the weather today, but that is why it is a perfect time to play some WoW. That is probably I don't know if it's my favorite thing to do when I'm feeling unwell anymore. It used to be, but then I realized that there's things like Netflix that can take place while you are completely flat on a couch, and it's tough to play WoW while flat on a couch. It can be done, especially with the right laptop setup, but why have you decided to do fishing? Well, there's a couple of different things that I want, and all of them right now appear to be from fishing. Also, it seems like a nice, low-impact, relaxing activity that I can do while chatting with you guys. I have here today for tea, I have a whole bottle of water, but I also have some, this is the chocolate hazelnut one that we got at mail time, and it's pretty good. I think my favorite from the mail time is still the vanilla chai. The Bigelow vanilla chai, I may buy it after that one runs out. It's not that expensive on Amazon. I may just buy that, because it's very nice, but this one is really good. It's got a very, like, nutty, it's chocolate hazelnut tea. It tastes exactly like it sounds like. So the first thing that I'm looking for is I'm actually almost completely done with Fisher Friend rewards. If you go in the toy box here, you say look for fishing, you'll notice that there are only two things that I don't have aside from this fishing share from the Black Mark Doctrines, which is not happening. There's only two things I don't have, and both of them are from Corbin, and as it happens, it is Corbin Day today, and I have actually already done a good amount of this. I've already gotten him all the way to friend, so now I only need to get to good friend and then best friend. I'm basically halfway done with the rep grind already. So I figure we're going to start there with him. And then after that, I'll send this one up. We'll start there with him, and after that's done, there's a couple of ways we could do it. One of them is just underlight angler fishing, trying to finish off or at least make some progress on bigger fish to fry. You can see I'm a little bit more than halfway done on this character. But alternately, we could head to Argus and do some... Hang on, I should have this long drawn-out conversation while drinking my tea after I'm on a flight path. Alternately, we could head to Argus and do some pond nettle fishing, because that's a mount I'm not going to ride. Trying to get the pond nettle on Argus. Yeah, exactly. That's a good one. Queen. Yogurt is okay for cats unsweetened. I have a cat who loves whipped cream too. They're just, it's not poisonous or anything. It's just, as a general rule, from what I understand, and I'm not a vet, but from what I understand, cats, generally speaking, tend to be lactose intolerant. So milk can be tough on their digestion. It can make them uncomfortable or gassy or that kind of thing. So we just give her cat stuff. So we're heading all the way up here, which means that I can sit and drink some of this. Kitty, I want to put a camera on you, but now that you're here, there's really no way to fetch one. So I'm just going to scooch so that you're slightly in the shot. Hi, Hazel. Hey, Ellipse. I was reading your tweet today about the add-on message store thing, and I read the Blizzard Watch article too, but I was reading your tweet about the typo in it, and I was just so impressed and inspired by how thorough you are about details like that. Like, obviously, it's a very important thing that developers not mistype that. It's a real problem, but it was just It was really cool. Literally just spent an hour fishing, just got off to see this. It's the universe telling you that this is the cool thing to do. Just got home, nice timing. Hello, how's it going? It's going all right. Happy Friday, sup, Paul? I'm quite enjoying the straw. I wasn't sure. I usually go for the straw for my breakfast tea. I don't always do it for other types of tea, but this one I did put milk and I actually put sugar in it too. I put a not small lump of brown sugar in this, so the straw is probably good for getting it past my teeth, but I'm really enjoying it right now. You've been given access to the BFA beta last week, doing lots of fishing in there too. I managed to fish at the midnight salmon at totally random times. Oh, like not at night? That's interesting. I only ever tried at night, so I guess it would make sense that I didn't find one during the day. Caught BFA last night? Grats. What do you think about the BFA's Shadow Priest state? Seems fine so far. I'm alright with it. It's less different than, it's not that different. I haven't spent much time with, oh, what are you getting at? What's that? I haven't spent much time with the void form talent that allows you to dictate when you go in and out of void form yet. I don't know how I feel about that, but I'll find out. Hello, Hazel. Pond Nose is a pain to get. I would be shocked if we managed to get one on the stream, based on the fact that I think it's, like, on average, probably, like, between 5 and 10 hours of fishing. Paw Creek, thank you very much for becoming a sponsor. Welcome to the Squirrel Squad. I don't know if it's just the double A in the name that really makes me want to do the sheep effect. But I appreciate the support. I'm glad to have you here. I hope you enjoy the emotes. And it brings me back to it's like the dumbest joke, and I made it 100,000 times, so it's not funny. It wasn't funny the first time, and it's still not funny. But whenever I'm in arena and I get sheeped, and for some reference, I usually played as a resto druid, and as a resto druid, unless you got stunned into it or something, you can almost always avoid getting sheeped by shifting into like a travel form or a cat form. Like your animal forms can't get polyed. So if you get polyed as a druid, that's unfortunate and you've made a mistake. Typically. They can set it up, but typically speaking, if you get polyed as a resto druid, you made a mistake. So whenever I get sheep, which is a lot because I make mistakes, I would get in voice chat and my partner would go, "This is bad! This is bad!" Because I was a sheep. A specific function has been my life for the past 4 months. I can type it with my eyes closed now. Hey Hazel, is the Mage Tower permanently up yet? If so, can I just do it when I hit 110? So the Mage Tower, as far as I know, not yet permanently up, and that's concerning to me given that we're probably roughly, and keep in mind not official, but probably roughly a month or so from pre-patch. And I'm assuming, and I still don't know, do we have confirmation of when the Mage Tower is being unavailable? I would assume that it's with the pre-patch, because that's when your artifact is disabled. That's when the new class changes go in. So I would assume that you have roughly 4-ish weeks left to do the Mage Tower. And it's not permanently available yet, so I don't know when they're doing that, but I hope it's soon. I need to find the group. I need to find the Corbin group. Alright, so that one, we want the bigger one. And this is probably one of the better ones. You've got like a nice wide beach to fish in. I'm going to turn my game sound on so I can actually hear this. I apologize if any of you are fishing in the game and this is going to upset you. Actually, it's not that big of a deal. So I'm going to turn game sound off so that you guys cannot hear my fishing sound, just because in case you're fishing yourself, that would just suck. So I need that. I need to be able to reach the buttons that help me do damage. Oh, Kitty, are you getting up? Oh, I'm sorry. Goodbye. Because I need to help. Also, it helps to have it's so loud, like I turn the sound way up when I'm fishing, and then, I turn the sound way up when I'm fishing, and then when I'm, killing the thing, I usually Control S to temporarily disable the sound so that I can not have my ears blasted off, especially like that swirling sword has like a persistent sound. It's pretty silly. I'm gonna go into my macro, actually, and fix this one. This is just you guys actually helped me set this up, but all that does is show the item in a macro so I can see how many I have on my bar here, which is important because once you cap at 100, you can just keep fishing and you're just not going to get any. You've got the midnight salmon at 1 p.m., 1 a.m., 7 p.m. Very surprised. Huh. Very excited, but you're not going to do beta. I'd be patient. I would, if I wasn't trying to make videos, I would be 100% the same thing. I would probably not be so spoiler avoidant as to avoid watching content or like listening to people talk about it. I would still like read news and keep up with MMO Champion, the Wowhead news and whatnot, and I still do. But I would probably not play because I don't know if it's easy to burn yourself out on beta, but I never really like the actual process of like leveling and doing dungeons. It's fun for the purpose of like for me to, to make content, but WoW is infinitely more fun when you are building progress on your permanent account that you get to keep, that you identify with. And you can't really identify with your beta characters because you don't keep them. You don't get to keep them. The Mage Tower will be permanently up. If you can't get anything from it, how would that work? You can't get anything from it. Just the Mage Tower challenge would, I don't know if the tower itself, like the buffs or whatnot, would be permanently available, but I know that they announced intentions to make the Mage Tower artifact challenge not permanently, but all the time available. I guess it's a word thing. So not permanently available, but available regardless of whether or not the tower would be up, like without the tower going down after a few days and having to wait for it to be rebuilt. If that's what it meant. When do you think is the best time to use your pet charms before BFA? Before the pre-patch, and we will probably get at least a day or two's warning on when the pre-patch exactly is going to be, but if you don't check in with news all the time, and or like you go a couple of days at a time without playing WoW or checking anything, it's probably a good idea to just keep spending them as you get them right now, because once the patch flips over, you will no longer be able to purchase, once the pre-patch flips over, and I should verify in the PTR that you cannot spend shiny pet charms on, like that the pet charm change is happening in the pre-patch, but I'm pretty sure that it will be, I think. But yeah, once the patch flips over, the charms that you're collecting now will no longer be able to be used to purchase battle training stones, like the upgrade stones and the quality stuff, all that. So you want to spend them before that. But there's no advantage to spending them later rather than sooner, as long as you do it before the patch, so I would just spend them as you go. I was literally just waiting to get more world quests to spawn so I can unlock my Void Elf and finally play the game again. Hi Hazel, hey Stephanie. Go look on PTR. I mean, not right now. I'd have to click like 5 buttons to do that, and that may be a little bit above my head today. I usually miss streams, but I'm homesick from work today. I feel terrible, but at least I have a good excuse to just sleep and play WoW. Take care of yourself. This is a good time to, you got to look out for yourself a bit. I used to never give myself space when I got sick, or if I was feeling just unwell in any way. I would just like grit up and power through whatever I was doing, like as a kid and a teenager in school and whatnot. I would always just pretend I wasn't sick because I felt I was very busy. I didn't have time. There's things to do. This isn't a good reason to not be doing things. And I found throughout my teenage years that doing that just made me sick for way, way, way longer. And even if you were trying to power through it, you're still not as efficient, and also you're being horribly mean to yourself, and you have to live with yourself for the rest of your life. So now, as soon as I feel myself even starting to get sick, I immediately, no more late nights. Like, I go to bed at bedtime. I get as much sleep as I need. I drink massive amounts of fluids, and I don't push myself too hard. I don't stress myself out too much. And I found that I get better really fast. Why are over 200 of us watching you fish? I don't know. As a case study, what do you think? Honestly, I don't know, because this is a nice place to chat. Because you guys feel bad that there's nobody for me to talk to in my apartment all week, and you just come to keep me company. I would like all 36, but realistically can't in time. It's a lot. People that are doing all of them they're dedicated, and other words, but dedicated is the nice one. New to WoW, just got to level 60. I don't know what to do to level. Should I go to the new areas, or do quests, or just ban dungeons? Thanks for your videos, by the way, they really help. So, my impression is that you want to keep doing dungeons once to do the quests in the dungeons. So do each dungeon once. And aside from that, just go quest. From 60 to 80, I preferred to quest in Northrend. I found it to be more effective than questing in Outland. And then mix it up with other stuff. Like mix it up with doing... I did a lot of... if you're new, maybe not, because you wouldn't have much of a collection yet. But I did a lot of pet battle dailies to level between there. I did a lot of... profession dailies. I did a lot of archaeology. There's other ways that you can get experience if you get bored of questing, but if you just want the really efficient route, you want to do each dungeon once while questing in between. As much as I enjoy fishing, it is a bit grindy doing Fisher Friends. It is, and when they first added Fisher Friends in particular, I was very struck by how grindy it was, and I initially decided to not do it because I looked at the rewards and I was like, well, this is a bunch of toys. I, Hazel, don't collect toys. Haha. I'm going to skip this. And I felt very great about that. But as is the case in a couple of WoW scenarios lately, where I decide to not do something because I don't want the rewards. The other example being Suramar, because I thought that was going to be optional. Turns out it wasn't. It turns out I do want them, and I end up doing it anyways. And Fisher Friends is not as bad as it sounds. It is not as bad as it sounds. And it's something that, like, you start it, and I'm thinking, well, I'm just going to fish for an hour, and I'll do the rest of it later. And for every single one except for this one, I started and I was like, I'm just going to fish for an hour, like, on a Saturday morning or, you know, after work or whatever. And I would just sit there and finish the whole thing. Because it just, you know, it felt like I was really close, and I could just, like, get there and get done and get finished, and it wasn't a big deal. And it's relaxing. It's not a whole lot really going on with it. Some of them are more annoying than others. The high mountain one, you all have to stand in a tiny little boat, which is hilarious, and also there's a lot of bobber overlap, so that one's a little bit frustrating. And then the Shaleth in Suramar. She was interesting because a lot of people did, like, hers is different. Basically, the deal with that one is that there's a pool that rotates around, and unless you're fishing in the pool, you're not helping. You're not getting any minnows for yourself, and you're not getting the item that summons the ad. But because when, like, the ad, instead of causing a fishing buff, what it does is it just drops straight up 20 to 30 of the special thing. So people will just, like, sit there and they'll fish up, you know, Runescale Koi, and then they'll kill the ad, and they'll get their thing done that way, even though they're not helping at all. And if you're not in a group, it goes really slowly, and it's really annoying because you basically have to move in between each cast in order to keep up with the pool, and you're not getting nearly as many of those items to drop. So that one was a little bit annoying, but it actually went a lot faster. I think it was probably my least amount of time spent fishing for that one, because you get through it pretty quick with the ads dropping the stuff. Are you enjoying the chocolate hazelnut tea? It sounds delicious. It is very, very good. I don't always find a space in my day for a tea like this. It's like a black tea, but it's not a heavily caffeinated black tea. Like, it doesn't quite fit into my first thing in the morning when I need the well, I don't need it, but I believe that I do. That when I'm going for, like, a strong tea to, like, kick me into gear. And then I kind of have a tea progression throughout the rest of the day. And usually the space for this is kind of like early to mid-afternoon, but on a day when I'm kind of taking it a little bit easier, on a day that I'm, like, really working hard, I probably make something that I can sip smaller cups of, because this I have to get up every time I finish my cup to get some new milk and sugar in it. Love your videos. Thank you. Oh, I need to catch up a little bit. Key Wayne, thank you very much for, oh, I missed my fish. Thank you very much for the super chat. Appreciate that. I think it's a happy face. I feel like it's hard. The thing is, on my UI, and I don't know if it looks like this for you guys too, but I have, the chat window popped out in dark mode. And, oh, there's another one. Well, thank you. The super chat pane is yellow. It's bright yellow. It's the exact same yellow. So it kind of just looks like the pair of hands. But that's very sweet of you. Thanks. Fleta seems to be doing well. Yes. He is, he's doing pretty good. He's very, I mean, he's still himself, which is very, very active, eats very well. So he's, like, good and strong and healthy, but he's, like, he's got so much vitality that he's still managing to damage his fins. I don't know what on. He must be biting them. He must be. I even took out the rocks that have the plants glued to them and took some sandpaper to make sure there weren't errant sharp pieces of glue. I sanded down all of the glue. There is nothing sharp in that aquarium. Nothing. It's just live plants, smooth rocks, and a sanded down coconut shell on sand. That's it. So, but he's still damaging his tail every couple of days, so he must be biting it. There's not a whole lot else we can really do aside from, like, I could try and put him in a bigger tank. I can't really do that in the apartment, but he seems happy. He's just trimming it. He just doesn't want a long tail, so it just means doing daily water changes, but he's doing good. Do you play Hunter much? I would think you do because you love pets. Hunter was kind of my thing before Priest was my thing, but I've gotten a little too far into Shadow Priest to want to do other stuff. Hunter was my main back in Wrath, and then to some extent in Cataclysm. It's fun because of the pets, but the pet, like, I always liked Hunter as a range spec, so that kind of ruled out the new, survival for me. Alright, so that's helpful, friend. So that left me with either Marks or BM, and now Marks is going this direction where they, like, Lone Wolf is a thing. I don't know if it's the best thing, but on the chance it is the best thing, I need, I need the pets. But I don't want, like, 5 of them. I just want, like, a nice bear. I just want, like, a nice, cuddly, fluffy bear. So maybe BFA Hunter will be more my thing, but I'm also kind of realizing that I really like Shadow Priest, and that's good. And I don't there's so many things that I want to do, both in WoW and in my life, that the more places I can kind of trim down what I'm trying to accomplish, the better, because it leaves me more space for everything else. There's a net amount of time in your life that you can't really expand. So if I can sit here and say I'm only going to play my Shadow Priest, that's probably a good thing. The universe is telling me to get on now for more. Almost done with Sightless Eyes. I have 18,000 of 20k. What did we need 20k Sightless Eyes for? I remember doing the Sightless Eye farm. I got the pet. Actually, I got the pet, and now I'm starting to realize that I might want the toy for the purpose of the toy thing. I don't know if that one's going to be worth it, because it's one of those toys that just takes a lot longer to get, and I'm kind of going for low effort toys because all I want it for is the meta achievement. What do you need 18,000 of them for? Did I block that out of my memory? I remember farming them for a while. How do I not get bored leveling when everything seems so repetitive? After 9 alts, this heritage armor almost doesn't seem worth it anymore, even though it obviously is. Well, I mean, the heritage armor is obviously worth it. But leveling, I used to do the same thing. I used to just level over and over and over again. There's something special about the fantasy of a new character and planning it out, and, you know, what are my professions going to be? Where am I going to quest? What's my transmog going to look like? What kind of pets do I want to have out with me? And, like, getting to spend time with a class you don't normally play. It's very appealing, and I spent a lot of time doing it. I did it basically until I had done it a couple of times on almost every class. What are we fishing for? Out here, we're fishing to finish the Corbin Fisher Friend stuff. So we're doing, there's a bobber that we need, and then he also has a toy. After that, we're probably going to do... After that, we'll probably head out to Argus and try to get a pond nettle. I don't know if it would happen, but we can try. Alternately, I do need to do some Fisher Friend fishing, but I think I might be... I don't know if I really want to do that on stream. Almost 60 days, plenty of time to fish. Is there time for the fish rep grind before BFA? Yeah. And the thing is, it's not like BFA is specifically disabling any of the Fisher Friend stuff. They're still going to be happening. This is still going to be perfectly doable. The thing is that this is much quicker when you do it in a raid group like I'm in now, because you get people chaining together the sparkly buff that causes the item to drop at basically a double rate. And the assumption is that those groups will not be as readily available and as full in BFA and post-expansions as they are right now. I think that's a fair assumption, but nothing is specifically breaking it. If you could get a couple of people that also want to do it, you can do this whenever. It just goes faster when you have a lot of people doing it at the same time. Sightless Eyes. Oh, to get the mount. Oh, you're right. What am I thinking of? I'm thinking of Intact Demon Eyes. You're right. Yeah, Sightless Eyes I did not do. I started it. I started it way back in the beginning of Legion. I didn't finish that one. I might not, but it's a cool one. The rat mount. When you get done streaming, what are you doing for the night? My guild is raiding. Well, I need to finish the vlog, so some of you might have noticed I did not put in a vlog today. I did record one. It's like halfway done editing, but like I said, I'm feeling a little not 100% today, so I've been moving a little bit slow. So I'm gonna finish that, get that out, make some dinner. I have a loaf of bread, and I'm probably gonna talk more about this bread in a bit. I don't know why you guys come to these streams. I'm probably gonna talk more about this bread in a bit. But I'm thinking anything that I can serve with garlic toast. The problem is that the things that I normally serve with garlic toast, like growing up, whenever we had garlic toast, it would be garlic toast with like a pasta dish, like a, you know, with tomato sauce or like a tortellini or whatever. And essentially that's like a big plate of carbs with like extra carbs on the side, which isn't a problem. Although I do find that I tend to get hit with a huge energy slump right after I eat like a really carb heavy meal. It feels like it's doing something to my blood sugar. I don't know. I haven't gotten it checked out. But, oh, I moved. I wasn't supposed to move. But yeah, it feels weird serving like carbs with a plate of carbs and like maybe a little bit of spinach salad on the side. But what else do you serve garlic toast with? Like I've gone rogue and I've been living, not alone, but I've been working alone for too long. And for weekday lunches, I will occasionally, and I've done this like enough times that it's a thing, even though it's not a thing. But for lunch, I'll have like garlic toast. Like I'll take a bun, like that you might serve a burger on, because that's what we have. And I will make garlic toast, you know, with like some butter and some fresh garlic. You chop up the fresh garlic and you get some parsley on there. And I'll make that, and then I'll have it with a fruit smoothie, because I feel like that's covering some amount of food groups. And I've done that enough times now that it's a thing. It's like, you know, what do I have for lunch? I'll have some garlic toast and a smoothie. It doesn't go together, but it makes more nutritional sense than just a bunch of extra carbs. Do you have any other pets besides your fish, cat, and dog? I'm thinking about getting a tarantula. So, fishy, cat, dog, and some people wouldn't consider these pets. I do. I have 2 snails. They're mystery snails. They're about this big now. They're pretty big snails. A gold one and a black one. The gold one is named Guido. The black one is named Zephyr. And they live in a tank in my living room along with 8 little red cherry shrimp of varying levels of redness. But I have cherry shrimp in that tank now. I went back and got them last Sunday. So I've been enjoying those a lot. I don't think I would do a tarantula. I'm not like deathly afraid of spiders. It doesn't bother me when I see them on TV or in WoW, or really in real life. I prefer if they're not in my house, and I prefer if they're not on me, but I'm not gonna... and I've never held a tarantula. I don't know if I'd want to, but if you're into that, they are really cool. I watched actually the funniest YouTube video that I'm sure some people wouldn't find very funny, but it was, for whatever reason, it was just, I thought it was hilarious. It was a guy with his scorpion pet. He had a pet scorpion. It was a really gnarly looking scorpion, but you know, that's his buddy. And he's feeding it. He's feeding it crickets. And he's basically just like, it's like, he looks like he's hungry because the scorpion's just like sitting there staring at him. I'm like, how on earth can he look like he's hungry? But all right. And so he like hands the scorpion a cricket and he just like takes it in his pincher and he just holds it. And he like stares at it for like 5 minutes. And the guy's like, well, do you want another one? I'm like, he hasn't put it in his mouth yet. So he like hands him more, and he just keeps handing crickets to the scorpion who's just like holding them in their claws. Eventually he starts eating them, but it was like, and watching a scorpion eat is also like nightmare inducing, but it was cool. And that was just the funniest thing. He's like, oh, I think he wants another one. He's like, he's holding 4. his hands are full. But yeah, no, that's all the pets that I have. I would consider maybe one day doing a ball python, maybe, but I've never met one. I want to find a friend that I can visit that has one, because I've never handled a snake before. But I've just seen a bunch of people with them on YouTube that they seem like they're great pets. So I'd want to meet one day, maybe. Gonna log in and listen while I fish? No problem. I got a very special... Ew. You'd be more popular if you didn't use face cam. What's that supposed to mean? I know people like watching streams will have different preferences for face cam or no face cam, but me personally, no matter what the stream is, I will almost never watch a stream without face cam. The only stream that I watch without face cam is when Fleta streams Overwatch. That's the only one. For the rest of them, I really like connecting with the streamer visually. Let's see. Shadow Priest, your favorite class spec combo? Yes, it is. I'm very partial to Shadow Priest, and to the point that I'll play Holy if I have to, which is almost never, because my guild is very good about not making me do things I don't want to do. And also, I suspect it's because I'm not a very good Holy Priest. That's the other reason they don't want me to do it. But, and then Dis, I'm just like, I don't dislike Dis Priests people. I just have never really wanted to play Dis at all. Corbin's, I'm pointing at my screen like you can see what I'm pointing at. Corbin's reputation names are different than the other ones. Is helpful friend, good friend, or best friend? It'll probably tell me when it's done, right? It'll say best friend. Am I almost done? I'm gonna get like 30 more and then hand them in and see where we're at. I've been drinking exclusively green teas for the last year or so. What would be a good black tea recommendation? I would go, if you just want black tea, I would see if you can get your hands on a Yunnan Gold, like a Yunnan Golden Needle. It's a black tea from China, and it's got these long sort of golden needle-like leaves. Shocking, I know. But it's got this sort of malty, rich, almost sweet potato-like earthy. It's good if you brew it strong. It's great with milk and tea if you want like a cup of tea. But it's also good straight and black. It's one of my favorite black teas. My buddy got a ball python. It cured my fear of snakes. Basically just a puppy in tube form. Yeah, they seem like they have varying personalities. The thing that would put me off, I think, would be, one, I want to make sure that I don't end up having more pets than I can handle. I already have quite a few pets, and I'm getting more fish. I am getting more fish as soon as my tank finishes cycling. So I want to make sure I don't end up with more pets than I don't want to, the last thing I want to do is be an irresponsible pet owner. I try very hard to make sure that my pets have everything they could possibly need. And then the other thing is that feeding them, I would never feed live mice. There's a bunch of reasons why that's not always a great idea, and they can do just fine in frozen foods. So you feed them like frozen mice and whatnot, and that's a little bit gross. I would have to get on board with that. How do you switch mains and keep track of who has which reps? So for the Fisher Fronts thing, I've really ruined my own life by doing it on a bunch of different characters, and I don't really keep track. I'm just kind of doing them all in one go each. For other characters, for the most part, I would have a main, and I wouldn't really switch mains much. Like, my Gnome Priest was my main from end of MoP all the way through Warlords until Void Elves came out. And I thought that was going to be my main forever, but then they made Void Elves, and I was like, wow, that looks really cool. I would like to be an elf with the purple hair. So I'm just kind of giving up and letting my reps go and sail away into the distance and hoping that one day, I mean, I could race change my gnome. It's not like the fee is stopping me. I don't want to do that to her. She is a gnome. It's, you know, the funny thing is she wasn't always a gnome. She was not always a gnome. She was a human. I rolled her as a human back in MoP. Hello Hazel, how's it going? Just checking in before getting to bed. It's going really well. I'm having a really good time catching up with you guys. Not a fan of the citrus notes in Earl Grey, personally. Not all of them have citrus, I think. I think not all of the Earl Greys are going to have the citrus. I think as long as it's got the bergamot, that's mostly the primary flavor note. Ball pythons are adorable little buddies. My warlock just picked up the Frenzy Heart Brew toy. Grats. What are the rewards for this friend? So the bobber, which I'll get that one first once I'm ready. Oh, I did say I was going to go turn these in after 30, didn't I? The bobber is a little Vrykul helm, I believe. We'll take a look at it once I get it. And then, oh, no, a little bit more. After that, also, do I have one of these things? I do. Look at that. There's another thing. It's Corbin's Beacon. I don't know what it does. We'll find out. I'm going to get that too. There's an add-on called Altaholic. Yes. I've been meaning to download that too. It's apparently great for keeping track of things such as reps and items in banks and whatnot. Gold across various characters. If I do get a tarantula, I won't be handling it. Strictly observational. There are some really beautiful species out there. Well, that's really neat. I think tarantulas don't need, I mean, they still need a good size enclosure, but like not as large as a lot of other pets in the hobby. So that's, I think, a fairly accessible one. Race change the gnome to a void elf and the void elf to a gnome. Problem solved. Yeah. I mean, now that I have my heritage armor, I don't know. I started setting this one up and stuff. I don't know what my problem is. I have a variety of problems. My teacup is empty. That's a problem. Any speculation as to when the pre-patch might drop? Yeah. I talked about that in the video that I recorded but haven't uploaded yet. How on earth would you not know that yet? My guess. I mean, if we're picking a Tuesday. So, mid-July, basically. One of these two. That's my guess. Either the 17th or the 24th of July. Because it's going to be like 4 or 5 weeks before the expansion launches. And it's going to be like 4 or 5 weeks after now. And that sticks you somewhere in mid-July. Hey, how are you? I'm doing really well. By any chance, do you enjoy any of these shows? Game of Thrones, Outlander, Vikings? So Game of Thrones, of course. I'm a fan of the books first. I've read the books quite a few times. And the show, I think, did a good job. It definitely, I think the later seasons, because they, through necessity, had to diverge from the book some, took the story in a different direction. It was still good TV, but it's just kind of its own entity. I've not watched Outlander. I don't actually know what it is, but I have watched some of Vikings. I didn't finish watching Vikings. We watched a couple of seasons of it, and my impression was that it was neat. It contained some very pretty people, but it wasn't really my kind of show. I don't know really what I had a problem with it. It's very violent, and I don't want to be, I'm not a stick in the mud. I'm not going to like cover my eyes and squeal if there's violence on TV or whatnot, but I don't actually enjoy it, and I think I'm starting to disenjoy it. Like, if there's a show with just like tons of explosions and like gratuitous violence, I'd rather not. It doesn't offend me. I don't have a problem with it. I just, where are you fishing? I'm fishing here. All the way up there. Shield's Rest. That is where the Fisher Friend of the Day is. Have you always been Alliance? Not always, no. I've gone back and forth. I started as Alliance. And I think it's fairly safe to say at this point in my life that I've ended up as Alliance, but I spent MOP. Most of MOP, and then back and forth. I've kept characters on both sides, but I spent most of MOP as Horde, leveling characters on Horde. You said Order Hall missions. I still see them. No. Gold Order Hall missions. And honestly, I can't verifiably say that there won't. Wait. No, what did I say? Order Hall missions? What was it? I was talking... No, sorry, that's the next video that I'm working on. Oh, no, okay, so no, I said Order Hall... Hey. Sorry. I've two projects that had some overlapping data. And also, I'm a little bit dumb. So what I said was that in BFA... Legion Order Hall missions that specifically reward gold, I wasn't seeing any of them. I was not seeing any Legion Hall missions on the BFA beta that rewarded gold. That was the point that I was trying to get across. Hopefully I said it correctly in that video, otherwise that's a problem. That doesn't mean that there aren't any, it means that I didn't see any on any of the characters that I copied over. There will be new missions from a mission table in BFA. Those ones will probably reward gold, although I haven't seen any from there either. But yeah, no, there's still Order Hall missions. Corbin's Beacon searches another player's pocket, sometimes comes up with a single copper. Yeah, but I mean, that's the description. What does that look like? I want to know what it looks like. Empty teacup is always a problem. Yeah, actually, speaking of, I think I need to turn this in, because I think I'm actually really close to rep capped here. We'll still need to fish to finish off the thing, but I need to turn this in. Okay, so yeah, that is best friend, so we're good. We're now maxed with him. I am going to refill my teacup, and I will be right back. As far as joining, I'm not leader of this group. It is Fisher Friend Corban on Alliance. No huge bobbers. You will get booted. No questions asked. I'm going to be right back. But you would need to be fishing. You would need to be, like, here fishing. I'm going to get some tea. I'm back. I'm still fishing. Oh, I need sound. There we go. Okay, how are we doing? Ugh. Today has been a really tough day. Someone needs to make a drinking game and bring me wine. I don't have any. Sometimes I come up with ideas for the drinking game, but I don't have any right now. Comprehensive videos on what the BFA tables will reward and in what quality. Not that I know of. It's a good idea. Chair stream. Anyone know what's happening with Yen in BFA? I feel like I've seen him. I think he's around. No life is fast leveling. Yeah, that is true. It is one of those things where if you can just like convince yourself to consistently pour a bunch of time into it, it'll end up happening. I need to resize my chat window because I keep thinking that I've been tagged, but it's just the color of the desktop behind it that's making it look like that. There we go. I'm going for Fisher Friends. Yep, and this is my last one. So I now have all of the rep that I need. I am now good. This crow thinks I'm great. I just need to get 100 for the bobber, And then is it another 100 for Corbin's Beacon? I'll check next time I'm back there. Oh, I didn't hear it. Also, speaking of bobbers, how on earth am I not using a bobber? I have so many to choose from. I'll kill this thing. I have so many lovely... Oh, what's happened? Somebody has made me into a Worgen. You guys can't hear this because I muted it, but it's very loud. We have so many delightful bobbers to choose from. Let's go with is it Sunflower? I got the Demon Head. I think I like the Elf statue. I think that one's pretty good. Oh, no, that wasn't it either. No, that's a totem. Also, I'm going to give everybody 10 fishing skill. You're all welcome. There we go. Yeah, I don't think the Elf Head is like one of the big ones, but still nice. Also, I disabled my sound and I get it back on. Alright, what's going on? No huge bobbers. Here we see our right a pair. Yeah. There's a good 4 of them over there for sure. Take a drink every time a fish is caught. There you go. That's my pet Boris. That is Boris. Hello, Boris. Oh, I wasn't sure if slash petting would stop my fishing cast, but fun fact, it does not. This is the info that the people really want. What's the item that you're fishing for? So right now we are collecting these shiny baubles. You can see I've got 18 of them here. I'm tracking them on a macro that's on my bar. When I get 100 of them, I'm going to be able to buy a fishing bobber toy from the vendor that's behind me, that crow up on the hill there. And then I'm going to need some more to buy a second toy that he offers. I'm trying to collect toys because in BFA there's a new toy collecting meta coming out that I want, because it offers a very cute robotic dog pet. So we're thinking ahead. We're doing some planning. News in the LEGO fishing pole, still going to be useful. So far, so good. Yes, looks very much like it's still going to be useful. Just watched your first videos and don't starve. I must say you have improved. I hope so. That was 5 years ago. I hope. So I have plans to, if and when we reach 100,000 subscribers on this channel, one of the things that I promised that I would do is making a video reacting to some of my first videos, which is going to hurt. And my current impression is that they weren't that bad, you know? I don't think those videos were awful, but then again, I also haven't watched them in 5 years, so I'm gonna go back and watch them and be like, ooh. How long do Fisher Friends take to max? Is it as long as Margos? No, it's definitely faster than Margos. For each one, you know, altogether collectively, it's gonna take a little longer. But I would say 3 hours of fishing. I managed to do it in just under 2 hours, actually, on one of the days, because I was running the Darkmoon Fair buff, and I was also running the Humanoid buff. I just happened to do that one on my Warlock. That Sunflower Pet's terrifying. I did some on my Warlock. So, 2 or 3 hours or so. I stole your identity. I love the Worms Bobber. The Worms Bobber is still my favorite one. I've been trying to use the ones that came from the Fisher Friends specifically because I put all that effort into getting them. I figure I may as well. But the Worms is still my favorite one because it's the most realistic and it's like a pretty good size without being obnoxious, and not many people use it because it's like wiggly worms. And it's just a good one. What do you think about the lore in BFA? Do you think they'll make Sylvanas next Garrosh? I really hope not. It'd probably unsub. I don't think they would do that again. I do think they're going in a direction with her. I don't know. I'm having a very hard time sympathizing with her actions. A lot of them are very unsympathetic, and also as somebody that's not really planning on playing Horde, I don't have a whole lot of reason to. What got you into fishing and pet battles? I'm looking to try new things in BFA. I have always really enjoyed collecting stuff in WoW, and WoW is a very good game for collecting stuff. There's so many different things you can choose from to start collecting, and fishing and pet battles are both pretty closely tied to collecting because they're big sources of collectibles. That's pretty much what what's the guy that pops up that you have to kill? That dude, he's called, no, he's not Boris, you don't have to kill Boris. Everybody be nice to Boris. I don't know, he's gone. He's like a spirit of some sort. You don't have to tag it or anything. Got the pond medal now. Excuse me. I know how to speak English. Oh, it's amazing that I'm alive today. I have not yet gotten the pond nettle mount from Argus. I think that's next on our list. I think once we finish up Fisher Friend, depending on how much time's around, which should be a fair bit. I bet we can get this done before 4. Should be looking at heading to Argus to fish for that. How many toys for the achievement? 400. How did you get started doing this? Doing which, Sarah? Doing fishing or doing WoW or streaming or, you know, the events in my life that brought me to having purple hair and sitting talking to a bunch of people. Love the sunflower. It's a cute pet, but right now I have my sound blasted really high. And, do I have leader? Who gave me leader? Does that mean I have responsibility to kick the people with giant bobbers? Because I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that person. I can already see the headline. What did I say? Oh yeah, the sunflower. So right now, because I have my sound up really high, it's like the creepy child singing is very much in my ear. How far into Before the Storm have you gotten? No spoilers, I just started. Well, no worries, because I don't have it. I haven't read it. I suppose I should, shouldn't I? I suppose I could call that job related. No, I haven't read it yet. Hazel's the group leader now. How did that happen? Did the leader leave and it just happened to pass to me, or did somebody bestow upon me this power? Because I suppose this is alright. I actually had to the other day. Yesterday. Hang on, this is really good and I need to drink more of it. Okay, so yesterday. I have a lot of stories related to yesterday, and I don't know if it's just because I don't remember anything in my week before yesterday, or if it's because it was a very eventful day, but... Oh gosh, yelling at me. Ancient Vicral Spirit. There you go. Raid testing was yesterday. And I log on to the beta to do some raid testing for footage for videos. And everybody's looking for a group, and there are no groups in the group finder. There's nothing in custom, there's nothing in dungeons, nowhere. And everybody's looking for a group, and eventually I'm like, well, somebody has to, so I create one. And I kind of instantly regretted it, because then I had to worry about, like, what to fill it with, and I don't raid enough. I'm never in charge of filling the raids, so I'm not intimately familiar with what an ideal raid comp is in terms of tanks, healers, and DPS. You'll know this if you've ever been in the stream when I've tried to fill a pug for LFR. No idea what the ratio is. So I was trying to get through that, and then, like, trying to coordinate this particular boss. I won't say too much about it, but to start the fight, you have to jump into a pit. And you have to do so all at once, and that means counting down. I didn't have any add-ons, so I'm, like, trying to count down in raid warning. It was, like, it was not my... I was not comfortable leading that pug. But, you know, we did a couple pulls. We were getting somewhere. And then the servers went offline. I disconnected. And then by the time I got the game booted back up and I logged back in, I was no longer I was, like, in a different zone, and I was not in a group anymore. My group was just gone. So then I joined somebody else's group, and it wasn't a problem anymore. Hey, Hazel, how late am I? Hey, Stephanie. Allie. Oh, streaming. I mean, I started YouTube first, and streaming just became kind of a thing that I did in addition to YouTube. It just seemed like a thing that, as a YouTube creator, you should kind of do, especially, like, as a YouTube, somebody that makes YouTube videos related to gaming. Streaming is, like, a very natural extension of that. And I got into YouTube specifically because I was dating the man that's now my husband, and he was an American, I was in Canada, and we were dating online for a while, but long distance relationships suck, and we wanted to figure out if we liked each other enough to, like, have me immigrate and move in here and all that, which is a lot. It's a big commitment, and it's hard to figure out online. So the plan was for me to go visit him for, like, a couple of months, live with him for, like, 6 months, because that's the maximum length of a visitor visa that you can get from Canada to America. So I got the visitor visa, which you don't actually have to get. You can just kind of fly over. I had to talk the customs officer into letting me in. He's like, how long are you planning to stay for? I'm like, don't worry about it. I didn't overstay or anything, but talked him into letting me come down, and came and visited for, like, 6 months. And the visitor visa is not a work visa. You are not allowed to be employed. I wasn't allowed to get a job. I had left my job in Canada. It was just a retail job anyways. And I also was fairly confident that I could get it back when I came back, which I ended up doing. But I had left my job in Canada, so I basically had no job, 6 months, and my husband works full-time, so anytime he was working, there was really nothing for me to do. Like, I cleaned their house within the first, like, day that I got there, and I was like, well, now what? So I needed a project to keep myself busy with, and I wanted something that I could later, like, that would build some skills that might later turn into a job. That would be cool. So YouTube was great because I basically didn't have anything monetized, so I wasn't technically working because I wasn't earning money. I didn't have to pay taxes because I wasn't earning money. But it was still building a brand and a channel and a thing that could then make me money later. I mean, hopefully. I had no idea if it would or not at that time, but it turned out good. So that was why I started YouTube. That was why I started, is I had a lot of time, nothing to do. Let's see, just leveled my Warlock to 76. So close to be able to get out of Northrend and have fun in Pandaria. You are so close. And that is really the break point. It goes so much faster out of that. That 60 to 80 is really just awful. Would you ever tank? I have tanked somewhat. Very casually. Kind of for fun. I don't think I enjoyed it enough to want to really tank full-time in a raid. I would do it if it was very important for my guild that they really needed a tank and it needed to be me for some reason. I would do it. And it would probably be fine, but tanking gameplay is not the kind of gameplay. I very much have found that ranged DPS is my thing. I don't want to heal. I don't want to be in melee. I don't want to tank. I don't like being in melee is the other reason I wouldn't tank, is because there's no ranged tank. That's not a thing. Okay, so we have 100 bobbers. And this bird, don't click this button. He will take your bobbers. He will take your stuff. So don't click it if you don't want the rep, because I'm maxing her up. He would take it, I would get no rep, and I would just be out of luck. So 100, I'm going to get the bobber, and then we're going to get 50 more and pick up the beacon. So that'll be 2 toys, which is nice. So there's the bobber. I always like switching to the new bobber while I'm still at the area, while I'm fishing for that last item. I don't know why I enjoy that so much, but I really do, because most people tend to not have it, because that's why they're here. Okay. So that is the new bobber. It's very far away. You can see it's a little helmet. It's just a little helmet. It kind of looks like a Lich King helmet. It's got like the blue eyes. Looks a little bit Lich King. Met my husband online. He immigrated from Canada. I'm into collecting pets. He got me to doing toys for the 400 toy achievement. Got your 390th. Need help figuring out these fishing friends that you're doing. Any advice? So I did make a video. There is Hazel's Guide to the Fisher Friends. It has like all of the info and the details. But basically it's a rotation. There's one up every day. You need to fish in their area. You're going to get this something's fishy buff when you know you're in range. Join a group in the group finder for that fisher friend, and then just fish up the stuff. You turn in the stuff to the NPC, that'll get your rep. You need to max out your rep before you can buy all of the things. And if you're looking for the bobbers, basically you're going to be fishing for a couple hours to get the stuff to turn in the rep. Make sure that you turn them in when you have 100. They do cap at 100, and you won't get any more. And then get 100 on top of that by your thing. It's basically just a mini version of Conjure Margos, but I also have a video that goes over all that if you want to hear it slower. My sister did the same thing from the US to Canada. The Spirit Bears belong to my guildie. She's awesome. It's a great story how that worked out. Are you going to go for dual citizenship? I originally didn't think so, but I'm starting to reconsider just because my green card renewal process is very drawn out. It's something that they're, as far as I know, extremely behind on right now. And they just keep issuing me extensions on my temporary one because they haven't gotten through their part of the paperwork. Like, the immigration hasn't gotten through their part of the paperwork to upgrade me from my 2-year conditional to I think I get a 10-year green card after this. But it's been, I think, almost 2 years. And they just keep issuing me extensions. So if I want to, there's a couple of things that I cannot do until that goes through. And if I want to do any of them, then my other option is going to be to apply for dual citizenship, which I do qualify for now. I would just need to pay a bunch of money and study and take a test and figure out the paperwork and do all that. So I'm considering it. Because I'm going to need that, not citizenship, but either citizenship or the upgraded green card, which still could be another year or two. Whenever they finish their stuff, government paperwork is remarkable. I am not able to apply for a driver's license. I don't drive, I never have, but I would very much like to. It seems a lot more important here in America than it did. I used to live in fairly urban Canada once I was an adult. My Canadian adult life was spent like in cities that had great transit, and I was basically walking distance from everywhere, so it was fine. But it's less fine now. If I want to go anywhere, I need my husband to drive me, and that sucks. So I would like to learn how to drive here, and I can't take the test until I get that. And then the other thing is I can't get a library card. What if I want to borrow some books? Can you fish a mountain Argus? You can, and I would like to try. And we're going to be heading out there actually pretty soon because I have 29 of the 50 of these thingy doodles that I need to get my last toy, and then I'll be good. Zone lures are 700 gold plus each. Fishing, you're adorable, I love your hair. Well, thank you. Somebody said that. So the other thing that happened yesterday. Yesterday, I was having a great day. I was doing really well. Wednesday, and then the first half of yesterday, I was doing really well. I felt like alive. I felt present. I felt focused. I was keeping my thoughts in order. I was getting things that I wanted to do done. And it all kind of went downhill yesterday afternoon. Part of it was for the same reason I'm not feeling great now. I'm just kind of not 100%. But the other part of it was raid testing. Raid testing was from 1 to 3. And I was frustrated that I didn't get the footage that I wanted to of the boss. And also, raid testing has this special way of being both stressful and excruciatingly dull for me. I'm sure it's really cool for a lot of people, but I have a really hard time sitting through it. I do, and I try my best to get good footage because I like making the guides, and I like learning the fights before the raid comes out because then I know what I'm doing when a raid comes around. But raid testing really did a number of my mood. I was like doing it, and the other thing I was doing during raid testing was I had some rosemary and parsley delivered, and they came in glass jars, and this is because I actually finally got some spices in my spice rack. It's a very long story. I had rosemary and parsley delivered, and they came in glass jars, and because they came in glass jars, the glass jars were wrapped in bubble wrap. And this whole time I'm doing raid testing, I start by popping each bubble systematically individually. I pop every single bubble in these 2 things of bubble wrap, and then I start pulling them apart. At first I opened it because it was a little package. I opened it and flattened it out, and then started shredding it into half-inch pieces, and I had just annihilated this bubble wrap by the time the raid testing was done. And then in the evening, I really wanted gingerbread cookies. I didn't have any. And I didn't quite have everything I needed to make them. I had everything to make the cookie, but having the cookie iced and with M&Ms or Smarties on it is very important to me. And I didn't have any icing or any icing sugar to make icing with. So my husband and I take the dog for a walk at 9:30, 10. So this story sounds like it's building up to somewhere. I promise you it is just as boring throughout the whole thing, so don't get hyped up. There's no big finish here. I'm just talking. Oh, it broke. I stopped. What's happening? Yes, we went for a walk, and we walked to a nearby grocery store, and I went in to pick up. David, thank you very much for joining the Squirrel Squad. Becoming a Squirrel Squad? Joining the Squirrel Squad. Welcome to the Squirrel Squad! Thank you very much for becoming a sponsor. I appreciate that. I think I finally remember where I was getting to in the story. So I go to the grocery store, and I'm picking up the stuff to make... This actually ties into a couple of things that I almost started talking about. Again, terrible story. But I was picking up... I wanted icing. Icing or icing sugar, and I ended up buying both so that I could do the cookies. And I wanted to buy gingerbread cookies there, but, it's June. They didn't have gingerbread cookies. And I also needed bread for my breakfast. And I couldn't find the normal bread. So I ended up buying a big loaf of fancy bread. And we're never going to eat the whole thing in time, which is why we don't normally get those. But I'm going to make some garlic toast with that. Love the metal straw, good for the environment. I'm thinking of applying for dual citizenship too. I'm eligible for both a UK and an Ireland citizenship. That's neat. The straw, it is good for the environment. It's also good, it's also, if the drink has any kind of sugar in it, it's also good for your teeth. It gets it kind of out of your mouth faster. Invincible dropped for me last night. Congrats, Ken. Started drinking tea. Start with non-caffeinated. You're trying new tea. Any recommendations? So if you're starting with the fruity stuff, I would probably go for a fruit-flavored green tea. I think is a good next step there. I've had some good luck with raspberry green teas, peach green teas. Where do you buy your tea? I buy my tea from a couple different places depending on what kind of tea it is. My Chinese teas I get shipped from China through Yunnan Sourcing, Yunnan, YUNNANSOURCING.com. So for my poorer teas, my black teas, and some green teas I get through there, and those are really good. If I'm just getting a cheaper flavored tea and I have lower expectations for it, I'll get that from Harney.com. 560 shiny baubles. Oh, you're right. I am actually done here. We are finished. My story went on for so long that I finished my fishing. Okay. Oh, no, I don't want to be on this. I would like to be off this ride. Oof. I'm always clicking on druids, and I feel bad because it's very rude to just jump on a druid without asking, but sometimes they're standing right over the thing that I need to click. There we go. So we're going to buy a Corbin's Beacon. we are going to use it. Okay, so I can now search somebody's pockets. Is Norma still here? We have Norma's friend Brunhilde. And let's see. So that over here. Corbin's beacon. I used it. There is nothing shiny on her. Well, it looks like all it did was put a line in chat. Anyways, so I'm done with Corbin. Actually, that's my last Fisher friend. The reason why Fisher Friend of the Isles did not pop up for me is because I was the brilliant person that did Fisher Friend in like 5 characters. 3. I did it on 3 characters, but it's dumb. This is a bad idea. Because now if I want the achievement, I'm going to have to go do some of them again, and I don't want the achievement that badly, so I'm just going to not. If you have good bread and you can't use it, make crumbs or croutons. Croutons is a very good idea. I don't have any croutons, and whenever I have my salad, it's just sad. It's just spinach with like some dressing and then like some Parmesan and like maybe some like shredded carrots or something. It's depressing. I like croutons. I should make some. I've never made any before. Story trailing is a beautiful struggle. We got there in the end. The other thing that happened in the like 10 o'clock grocery store trip where I was just shopping by myself because my husband was waiting outside with the dog, as I was looking for M&Ms to put onto, hang on, I'll finish this in a second because I know it's going to take me a minute. Void Meows, pardon me. Void Meows with the Void Elf icon. Thank you very much for becoming a sponsor. Welcome to the Squirrel Squad. I appreciate having you here, fellow Void Elf enthusiast. And I hope you enjoy the emotes. I recommend that you try out Hazel Void. It's a squirrel, but it's like a void squirrel. Hazel jumped on my back. For a second, I thought you meant you had a cat called Hazel that jumped on your back, but then I realized what you meant. Do you drink tea in your summer? Do you switch to iced tea? So I do still drink hot tea in the summer. What I do if it's going to be really hot is I will get up early and drink it while it's still cool outside. Because I'm lucky to live in a part in the world. We're in the Northwest. It will get very hot during the summers here, like 40 plus Celsius, like 105, 110 even Fahrenheit. I was told it wasn't supposed to get that hot, but it happens. And, but it cools down at night. It pretty consistently cools down at night. So I'll just drink my hot tea first thing in the morning, and then throughout the day, I'll then drink iced tea. I have a big pitcher that I use to cold brew iced teas. Like any of my teas, I can just cold brew them, and that's really good. I do not drink coffee, no. I mean, I'm not against it. I will have like a latte or something if I'm out in the world, because I will almost never buy tea out. Most places that make tea, especially in America, they don't care, and it's not good. I'm sure there are some places that will make you a great cup of tea, but I haven't found them. Aside from, if you can ever visit the Tao of Tea in Portland, they have a couple of locations. One of them is at the Chinese Gardens in Portland. It's great. Bless you. But yeah, for the most part, I'll have coffee if I'm like out, because it's much easier to get a good tasting latte than it is to get a good tasting cup of tea. Do you guys happen to know where the best spot to fish for the pond nettle is? I know that I can fish in any of the green waters on Argus. I know it doesn't matter where. So I need a spot, Hope's Landing maybe. I need a spot that is not going to get me attacked by demons. Sometimes Corbin will steal a copper or a gold coin. I want Pandaren Ambassador, but I've got the Anglers rep and a new character, and a character that I never play. I am dying for them to make reps account wide. That's like my number one wish list idea. They've talked about it before. It's just, I hope that one day they let up on that. I personally, and maybe I'm just biased because I have reps that I would dearly love to be account wide. Like, I don't care enough to do them again, but I would really like to still access them. I still did them. And I don't know. The only thing that it really matters for is meta achievements. And now that they're adding a new one, that suddenly stings again. So I'm guessing this is the spot. Like, this seems like a nice safe spot. Is this it? What's the Squirrel Squad? That's just the name that I call for us that hang out here on streams. It really doesn't mean very much and doesn't really get used outside of stream. But, you know, we needed like a snappy name. People have like, I hate saying fan club names because the word fan feels really gross. It's not like gross, but I don't feel like that's a thing that I can say. I feel like you guys can call yourselves that if you really want to, but I prefer viewers, peers, fellow WoW enthusiasts. Hope's Landing? You get attacked by the stupid spaceship. Doesn't, I thought they disabled that. I thought the spaceship doesn't get you anymore. We'll find out. I'm gonna fish here for a bit. And the nice thing is that I can just fish here. I got my nice new bobber. It's nice and secluded. There's nobody really fighting me. Like, I'm not trying to click on somebody else's bobbers. I'm not listening to other people's bobbers. I'm not listening to ads come and summon and fight. Like, this is nice and quiet. This is good. What about Pet Battle PvP? What about Pet Battle PvP? Were we talking about something that was related to it? Is there more to that question that I've missed? I watched another vid. They said that Underlight Angler won't give the benefits. That doesn't match what I know. That does not match what I know. The Underlight Angler, right now on beta, the traits are active. They do appear active. And the thing was, when they first added the patch that disabled artifact traits, the Underlight Angler ones appeared disabled in the UI, but they still functioned when you went fishing. And then in the next build, they made it so that they appeared enabled. And that to me signifies that as of the time that they did that, which was like last week, they still intend to allow you to continue to use the Underlight Angler in BFA. I would be very surprised at this point if they backpedaled on that. It doesn't steal the coin, it generates a new one for you? Ah, I see. Does the person still see in chat that you stole the coin from them? Because I feel like that's an important part of the toy. Like, I know obviously it doesn't take the coin from them, but do they still see the line in chat? Because I feel like I'm gonna need that for my rating. With that satchel for grinding after Exalted, a step in the direction for rep to be account-wide. Satchel for grinding after Exalted. I know the satchel that you're talking about. I almost think that that's a reason why they wouldn't make it account-wide, because you would be able to much more easily farm those satchels with account-wide rep. So that's like the only real advantage that account-wide rep would bestow that's not otherwise available that I can think of, aside from like being able to more easily do the meta achievements. Or not even more easily, just take advantage of the work you've already done. Would you ever get a tattoo or a banner of one of the WoW crests? I think a Duskglow tattoo and have the Forsaken or Scourge banner hanging in my home. That's neat. I have an Alliance banner that was sent to me on mail time that I haven't put up yet because I don't really know where to put it. I have, like, my office is kind of wallpapered in WoW, and I'm trying very much to limit the WoW paraphernalia, memorabilia, stuff. Trying to keep the WoW stuff in this room and keep it from taking over my entire home because it's already my entire social life and my job. And my hobby. it's all of it. My life is 100% WoW, and then, like, I have some time for some fish. And I like walking my dog. But, yeah, for tattoos, no WoW tattoos. Just because, I don't have a problem with other people doing them. I just, I want my tattoos to be all things that are not at all, pop culture related in any way. Things that are, like, nature related. I want nature related tattoos specifically. So I've got a maple leaf on my back. I have this tree on my right arm. I would like to get my left arm done, ideally this summer, if I can finally settle on something and then find somebody to do it and then pay them a bunch of money. I want to get my left arm done. But I'm gonna stick with natural stuff. So I'm thinking birds, maybe birds from shoulder to elbow and then fish from elbow to wrist. Do like a river theme would be kind of neat. But just nature stuff. No words and no pop culture stuff. And probably like this one, like mostly black and white with just like a little bit of color. Not a full color one. That's just for me though. I want to collect 300 toys for the mount. I've watched your toy vendor guide, now at 220. Any tips for the next 80? Somebody was telling me, this isn't going to be useful to you at all, by the way. Somebody was telling me about a tool that kind of had a Simple Armory mount run style checklist thing, but for toys. Maybe it was Simple Armory. I don't think they actually told me what it was. I think I asked specifically what the service was, and I don't know if I got a reply on that, but I very well may have missed it. Thank you for the super chat. I don't have any idea where to even start saying your name, and I'm gonna feel real bad if I do it wrong. Maybe you can help me in chat, but I adore you. You make WoW fun. Thank you. That's very sweet. Does WoW nature count? I mean, the other thing about WoW is it's evolving, you know? If I had gotten a Teldrassil tattoo, that would be cool. But then once they burned down Teldrassil, it would just make me sad every day when I looked at it. How do you feel about most of the new mounts being reskins? It's a letdown to me personally. I don't think most of them are reskins. I think that something that they're doing a little bit more, there are a bunch of reskins, don't get me wrong, but something that they're doing a little bit more is, I guess it is a reskin. I'm mixing up reskins and recolors. I'm actually really happy with reskins, like there being an updated, nicer version of the horse, because I really like those classic style mounts, but having a new high fidelity version of it is really neat, I think. Can you give me Robux? I don't even know what Robux are. I do have a video on the Underlight Angler fishing rod. It's called Reasons Why You Need One and How to Get It. I like the way they did rep in Pandaria. You can buy the item to increase the rep for the other tunes. Exactly. That was great. It wasn't account-wide reps, but it was a step in the right direction. I'm gonna actually move this up here just so that you guys can see all of the nothing that I'm getting. I'm assuming that my rarity is going to yell at me if I get this mount, but I need to make sure something yells at me, otherwise I very well could not notice. I can totally see it just like passing me right by. Oh, I accidentally sat. We need to like fishing theme this up a little bit. I'm gonna find a fishing, like an aquatic pet. I want like one of my fishy pets. I think I might literally want fishy, or like a carp. I want one of my carp. I've got red, blue, white, green. Oh, the green one's really pretty. I want my green carp. And then I can't get rid of zebra. I don't really have any fishing mogs, but I'll do that. Also, do I have any fishing related titles? I have I have salty. I can be Salty Hazel. Watch me forget to take that off later. Simple Armory now shows you a list of toys you have and the missing one sources. Oh, neat. You got to download the add-on. Ah, okay. I should look into that. If they do that and make it so that the mount route thing is updated for newer mounts than just the Kata ones, I will be all about that. I love the Simple Armory mount planner. Are you fishing for something specific? Yeah, so there is a low drop rate chance for a pond nettle, which is an underwater mount from any fishing on Argus. So basically we're just sitting here fishing and there's a chance that we're going to get a mount. It's not a great chance, but you know, I'm going to fish for the next like 45 minutes or so. It could happen. It could totally happen. All the things cool as well as TSM. I have all the things. I don't know what is wrong with me or that I'm doing wrong, but I never ever feel the urge to open this. The thing I think that is missing for me, say I'm looking for toys. I want to know what my next toy to collect is. I want drop toys. This doesn't tell me where to get them. That's the part that I'm missing. That's what I really like about like the Simple Armory Mount Run Planner, or even the Warcraft Pets pet collecting checklist, is that they show you the things that you need and they show you where to get one. Now I can look up where to get them. That's totally fine, but and maybe you guys, maybe there is a function telling me what to do here in all the things. I'm just missing it. I can look it up on Wowhead, but at that point I probably could have just looked up a guide anyways. Wowhead has this zone by zone toy guide that I actually do really recommend for anybody looking to beef out their collection for the sake of the achievement. Look up Wowhead. It's just called Zone by Zone Toy Guide. You'll find it. It's great. It's great. It goes. You can click on any zone. It'll show you the toys available, what you need to do, like coordinates of the NPCs. You can see them on a map. It's awesome. Can you upload sponsor emotes for factions for Alliance and Horde? I think the next two should be Alliance and Horde banners for sure. Although I'm not really sold on whether or not people are going to use them. Something that I almost got done in time but didn't quite is I am in the process of updating the sponsor icons so that they will reflect how long you have been a sponsor. There's going to be 6 tiers, and one thing that I don't like when people have this into their Twitch streams, and it's not a problem, it's just something that I personally don't prefer, is that when the sub-streak icon changes it to a completely different thing. Like, if I start out as a bunny, and then I get upgraded, I turn into a deer, what if I liked being a bunny? You know? I still want it to show that I've been sub for a long time, but, you know, I'm not a bunny anymore. So I want them all to be, like, the same nut, kind of, but still have it very clearly be upgraded. So my plan is for the 6 tiers is to have like a base level version of it, and then like a slightly fancier one with like maybe an extra leaf, maybe like a sparkle, something like that, like a nuttier nut. And then have that in the normal colors, which are now, and then silver and then gold. So you can see it update. Which mount are you after here? We are looking for the pond nettle right now. We're looking for the pond nettle. Let me see if I can find it in all the things. So mounts, what is it going to be from? Drops. And then, is it under drops? It's from fishing. I don't know if that counts as a drop. I don't see it in there. That's probably like raid drops. Mounts from professions. Yeah, pond nettle. That's what we're looking for. So you can see a little bit in there. It's a, oh, I moved my mouse. It's basically like a Cosmoth recolor, and we're getting another one of those in, we're getting another Cosmoth recolor in BFA, but it's a mount. It's a mount, and I'm not going back to fish for this after BFA lands, so I may as well do it now. Don't take my nut away. It'll always be a nut. It just might become a fancier nut. And then the thing is, with the Twitch ones, it's about the sub streak. And with YouTube, the way it works is that it's just the cumulative time. So even if you unsub for a while, like you unsponsor for a bit, because it's just not right for you anymore, if you come back, you'll still have whatever rank you have gotten up to. It doesn't go away when you unsub. When you responsor, anyways. Need to have a bunny with a hat. You need to play modded Minecraft. I think it would help your channel grow. Are you vegan or a vegetarian or a hippie? That's like a lot of questions. I'm probably not going to play Minecraft. I am a pescatarian. I don't think I'm a hippie. Okay. Oh, did I misclicked there. Do you have the Smoldering Ember Worm from Karazhan? I do have the Smoldering Ember Worm, but you know what I don't have is the one that drops from Coursey Boy downstairs. What's his name? Can we fish on a new 110 from scratch for the pond nettle? So, my knowledge on the subject is limited to what I have learned in the Wowhead comments, but from what I saw there, it does not matter what kind of fishing skill you have. Your fishing skill shouldn't matter, your fishing rod shouldn't matter, you don't need any prior achievements, you don't need an underlight angler, so you should be able to, yeah, take a fresh 110, sit them out there, and go fishing, no problem. I mean, it'll still take you a while. Like, it's, and you'll get some fishing skill as you fish, that'll be kind of a nice benefit, although you do get it much faster if you do the underlight angler grind, because you'll get a bunch of fishing skill up items as you go. But this is estimated to take between 500 and 3,500 casts or so. I think on average it'll take people from like 3 to like 12 hours ish, approximately. Venturing a guess based again on what I've read in Wowhead comments. The drop rate's not very high. I'm kind of mentally putting it on a tier with the sewer rat grind. I did that one. I wish the swimming ones could fly. There's barely any times that you need a swimming mount. If you have the underlight angler fishing rod, you are always better off putting that on. Unless you think you're going to get stuck in combat. But it's not like you can be in combat on a mount anyways. So you're always better off putting on the underlight angler. Because one, there's no cast time. Secondly, it goes faster. And thirdly, it gives you water breathing. These underwater mounts are just inferior. It's unfortunate because they're cool. And I really wish they would at the very least buff the swim speed of them, to put them equal to, if not a little greater than the underlight angler. That shark just kind of ruined everything. Atumin the Hunter. That's right. That's it. Vegetarians don't eat meat. I guess hippies only eat snacks. I've never heard that before, but it's funny. You can get 1 to 800 in like 15 minutes in Legion. Yeah. I'm glad that they finally added like a substantial fishing catch-up, because in the past they kind of had the system where you don't need fishing skill because you can get your stuff out of like pools or whatever, but you're eventually going to need it for this thing or for that thing. And grinding fishing was always slow. Like, you were able to get regular fish as you did it if you fished from pools, but it was still slow. And there's just so many points to it, and they came so slowly that it's really good that they added that eventually. I've already casted 2,700. That is one thing that I probably should have set up before I started this, and I didn't. Something to help me tell how many casts I've done. I think that Fishing Buddy probably would have told me that. I didn't go Fishing Buddy. And Fishing Buddy's not going to know if I install it now, so I may as well not bother. I took the day off. So glad I could catch your live stream today. I hope you're enjoying your free day. I hope you guys are getting ready for like a good weekend. It's finally looking sunny outside, and we've had a couple of days of like not cold, but oddly chilly and rainy for June, and I'm really looking forward to. I have a bunch of YouTube stuff to do this weekend, but I'm looking forward to trying to get to the garden center because I need to pick up some potting soil, pot up my tomatoes. I've got a couple of tomatoes that are growing in red solo cups right now on my balcony, and then maybe get some flowers. But watering plants is so frustrating in an apartment because we're on an upper floor and our balcony is not watertight. there's no plan for it draining off, so basically any water will just drip right through down to the apartment below us. And I don't want to pour like dirty plant water on their heads or like on their stuff. They have stuff there. So whenever I'm watering a plant, and I don't see anybody else doing this, but like I don't know what else to do. I'll put it like in a bucket and then I'll water it and then I'll like leave it for some time, take the bucket inside, pour it in the sink and like do it again, or I'll hold them over the bucket, or I'll take things all the way inside just to water them. Like, it's just so much extra work, and I'm so looking forward to one day being able to just put my plants outside, just water them, and then have the runoff just go somewhere and not be a problem, you know? Just go into the earth, go into the world, be free. It'll be great. The sewer rat is terrible unless there's a trick to it. I don't think there's a trick to it, no. I don't think there's a trick to it at all. New race is making me so mad. A pescatarian? Just pescatarian. The A was the word before that. It just means it's kind of like a vegetarian, but I do eat fish and seafood. But I don't eat chicken, poultry, or like beef or pork. My wife fished at the sea turtle mount in her first 10 minutes of fishing ever. I still haven't got it. That's a lucky fisher. Easy in Warlord's Garrison fishing rates. I must have done that the hard way, because I definitely got it in the Warlord's Garrison. And I fished in a group, but like with my buddy and like maybe one other friend. We didn't join a raid. Should we have been in a raid? Because we definitely weren't. Thank you for all the entertainment, listening to you fish and watching my beloved sports team. I saw there was it's a soccer thing today, right? I got like a Snapchat or something about it. One of my friends was watching it. I want to say soccer. It's soccer, right? It's cool. Is there a flying void mount yet? There's a couple of void themed mounts. We've got like so if you specifically want the word void, we have the, oh, you know, right, you're right, they don't fly. The ones that I consider to be void are the Dark Phoenix. It's not technically void, but it does look pretty void-like. I also kind of enjoy the mana rays, like the purple ones. Like, that seems pretty void to me. I know it's not specifically void, but you see them in Macarene. There's like a lot of void stuff going on there, so I kind of relate that to being sort of void. Specifically the purple one, and then to some extent the blue one. But you're right, we don't have a specifically flying void mount just yet. Okay. Did you get the Dark Herring from Northrend? I don't think that I did. Was that an achievement? Can I look that up? Can I find out? The Dark Herring. Well, obviously not in this character. I don't know. What kind of fish can you catch in that slime? Looks toxic for a pescatarian, way worse than meat. I mean, so far, I've been catching not fish. There's no fish in here. There's vendor items. And they don't even sell for that much. Like 1 silver, 18 copper, 18 copper. There's like 1 or 2 things that will sell for like a couple of gold, but it's just like the standard trash stuff. But there's a mount. There's a mount in there, and if I fish for long enough, it'll get it. Rarity will also tell you how many casts. Oh, sweet. Awesome. Well, that's good, because I was curious. But I didn't want to start counting late, because it would be terrible to have a number that's not the right number, you know? Oh no. Oh no. There's got to be a better way to do this. I want to see the element. Oh, how does? Yeah, that one. Okay, I have tried 76 times. I have tried 76 times. Well, that's not that many. And it says that it's a 1 in 2,000 drop rate, which I think is about. I think that fits into roughly the parameters I was thinking about. The rarity mini map icon. The rarity mini map. I feel like that's something I probably would have turned off. I should turn off the wardrobe helper one. I don't use it much anymore. If you want to know where transmog pets and toys drop, I would suggest Menar's wardrobe helper. You mean this one? I do in fact have that. That's like my favorite for transmog tracking. People have said that I should use all the things for transmog, but I don't know. I really like wardrobe helper for transmog. Like, what does this transmog interface look like? Let's see. Appearances? Is that what it's called? Item sets? I don't know if this is even going to track transmog outside of item sets. Like, it'll show you, like, weapon sets, class... No, this is something else. Instance? What am I looking for? I'm not really 100% here. Can I see your dog, please? What breed is it? My dog is not in this room. He is an Alaskan Klekai. I have, he's in a couple of videos, but I'm probably not going to grab him and bring him over here because he's pretty shy and he doesn't really like being touched. He very much doesn't like being picked up, so I try not to do it too often. I'm going to camp for this weekend. Oh, you're going, like, out to camp. That's cool. Oh, man. Get the water dishes for under the pot. So, for... Some of these are really big, though. Like, they're really big. I had these big plastic ones that I would put under my old tomato pots, but I think I ran out of them, and they were really hard to find. Buy secondhand cooking pots for under your plant pots to catch the water. Those would be like big pots though. Like these are big planters. These are big planters. FIFA World Cup. I see. How are you auto looting? You go into interface in your options, and then there's an auto loot button, and then you click on that. It's great. It's the first thing I always do whenever I make a character. Is this actually live right now? Yes. I'm a little behind in chat. I'm catching up now. What's the mount in the fell goop? I'm late, so we're looking for a pond nettle. Let's see here. It's got a 1 in 2,000 drop rate. Pond nettle. I think so far we've had roughly a 5% chance to catch it. But we've only been here for like 20 minutes or so. We can probably... It's this one right here. 1 in 2,000 drop rate. Fish it anywhere in the green stuff on Argus. Hope's Landing, which is where I'm at right now, is a fairly safe place to fish. There's nothing that's really going to fight you here, cause you problems. And actually, I'm kind of enjoying this grind because it's nice and quiet. I could totally see myself doing this while like putting on Netflix or a movie or something. Or just like talking to people or, you know, any of the number of miraculous magical things that you can do while sitting on your computer, watching your life fall away. I could totally see just fishing, especially because you don't have to move. You don't have to worry about, like, killing a mob. It's really just straight up, sit down, nice, quiet place fishing. Like, I think this is my favorite type of fishing grind. It's just the really straightforward one. Are the fish going to have 3 eyes? That water looks kind of contaminated. Hey, Hazel, evening. Oh, hey, Belle. How are you doing? I just got a legendary ring. Congrats, Stephanie. Which one did you get? There's a couple of different ones. They're all pretty good, though. I was hoping I would get a Safuz in this character, but I think I'm starting to let go of the dream of doing that. Also, I have not put a gem in that ring. It's a little bit awkward. If you want to see as you cast how many times you've tried, Rarity's general options has that option. It's chat spammy, but if you want to track the cast as you go, that's the way. Well, that might be fun for the sake of just having it on the screen. So, Rarity, track this, announce. Hang on. Because I might have to, like, do this, hang on. I have Rarity set right now to only announce something when I get it. So maybe I have to turn the setting for all of them to announce it every time I try. It's in here somewhere. There we go. So let's try turning that off and see what happens. Let's see if that was the setting that we needed. Yeah, there we go. So the number of attempts is going to tick up there, and we can see. Do you have the Fellhounds mount? I have the one that drops from Hounds. I don't have the one from, like, Mythic Ratings. So, in Hounds... Let's see here. In Hounds... yeah, I have the Entoranchar Hound. I really like that, actually. I was so shocked when I found it could fly. I was just flabbergasted. Because, you get it off the boss, and I was like, those dogs can't fly. They don't have wings. And then mine did have wings, and it could fly. It was just the best day ever. Every time you say I eat fish, all I can think of is the shark from Nemo saying fish are friends, not food. I am dying to watch Finding Nemo again. I was looking around. Finding Dory is on American Netflix right now, but Finding Nemo is not, and it's not on any of the streaming services that I have. So I'm gonna have to, like, actually buy it. I had the DVD as a kid, but I don't have it. I certainly don't have it anymore. My parents probably have it. I'd have to either buy it or, like, rent it. And I was trying to decide which one of those things I wanted to do because I really want to watch it again. Especially because I'm going through, like, a huge fish phase right now. I'm hoping that watching it will not make me want to get saltwater fish. I think that's kind of, like, counter to the point of the movie anyways, or at least not wild-caught saltwater fish. But, because I'm on a freshwater kick right now. But, I just got these cherry shrimp, and they remind, like, they're a different type of shrimp, but they remind me of the shrimp from Finding Nemo, so I want to watch it again. I was trying to decide if I should pay $4 and watch it once, or if I should pay $20 and watch it whenever I want, which is going to turn out to be once. But, you know, you just want to keep that. All my mounts are basic and I look like a noob. 500 gold now. What's up? What's wrong? I'm confused. I'm 25. Do you have the faster loot add-on? If not, get it. Faster loot? I feel like I'm looting pretty fast. I like the troll standing there. He's like your BF waiting for you to finish shopping. Yeah, he looks a little bored. He's gonna be left behind. That's actually one thing that I'm really disappointed about, is I really like combat followers. I've loved that they give me gold when I do world quests. That's very nice of them. But I also just like having somebody out in the world hanging out with me when I do my quests and stuff. And I think I'm gonna miss it. There, to my knowledge, is no combat follower. There are followers, and you do send them out on missions, but I have yet to find any that will actually come with you out into the world. I don't think that's coming forward into BFA. I think I'm gonna miss it a little bit. I think it was kind of cool. It was kind of annoying sometimes, and he's a real pain in the butt to have around when you're trying to record something, when he's like running in front of your camera. It happens more than you think, and you have to go like all the way back to disable him. It's rough, but I mean, yeah, I'll miss that. What do you guys think? Other than the suggestions on Amazon, where do you buy your loose leaf tea? Yunansourcing.com for Chinese teas, Hardy.com for non-Chinese teas, like the flavored stuff. Tao of Tea, which again is in my Amazon recommendations, but they sell a bunch of stuff on their website as well. Have you gotten the Fathom Dweller mount? Yes, I do have that one. You can buy large barbers. Should make a big fish feast and watch Finding Nemo. Like watch the movie while eating fish. That sounds rough. Z080888. Thank you very much for becoming a sponsor. Welcome to the Squirrel Squad. Congratulations on all of the 8s in your name. It's a very good number. It was always my favorite number, and I'm not just saying that because you have a lot of 8s in your name. It's just, and I think it was a lot of people's favorite number. Like, I feel like a lot of people landed on 8 as, like, a lucky or a favorite number. I don't think I was alone in that one. It's lit. Should be carrying your purse. I always felt that men were a little bit shafted by not regularly carrying bags. Like, I really want the man purse to catch on, because I think, like, a stylish bag looks really good on men, and also it's extremely convenient. And you know, when you're the only person with a purse, you end up carrying all the stuff. You know, it's like you end up with like the extra keys and the extra phone or like whatever. It all ends up in your purse, and then you're carrying around more of it. It's heavier. So I'm waiting for like a good fashionable man bag to catch on. I've been waiting ever since the Friends episode where Joey had one, and I thought it looked great, but I'm still waiting. I mean, people to carry messenger bags, but not so much. Not as much as I want them to. And you're farming stuff, it'll make the loot window close faster, makes a delay when you do stuff so much better. But then, I mean, I kind of like, and maybe I would change my mind if I tried it, but I kind of like that there is a little bit of a delay where the window is still open even when I'm auto-looting, because that lets me see what I'm looting without having to look at my chat window. Like, I can see it pop up a little bit, and I feel like that's an important part of my experience. I might be wrong. 5 is my lucky number. Are you going to, oh, Joker, you want to come here? You want to come say hi? Somebody wanted to see you. He's not going to come over because I'm sitting up here. Maybe if I sit on the floor. Hang on. I'm going to see if I can get my dog to visit. Here a bit. He just left. He just looked at me and turned around and left. He does not like being touched or picked up. He's a strange dog, that one. I intend to use backpacks. Yeah, but I want like a backpack is less convenient because you have to like take it off or like sling it around if you want to add something or take something out of it. Those are good for traveling. They're good for school. They're good for work. Like getting to and from work when you're like packing like a lunch and some extra stuff, but like it's not a purse, it's a European carry-all. If you're fishing, I guess for fishing, yeah, it would make sense. You have some of the giant bobbers, but I feel bad for getting in other people's way. I mean, it's also about picking your moment. Like if you're doing a fisher friend thing, and you're fighting with like a bunch of other people like in the very same area and you all have to fish there, then it's very much polite to not use the huge one. It's not going to ruin anybody's lives, but it's polite to not use it. But if you're just like, for this, I could be using a big one. I don't think anybody would mind. My husband and I both have messenger bags, and that way I don't have to carry all the extra stuff. That's how you do it. I don't have already installed, but I can see how many casts because I've switched to a character with 0 fishing. I mean, eventually you're going to stop getting a fishing skill up every cast. There is a point in which it takes multiple casts to get it, and it's a little bit random, so that's eventually going to stop, but for now. Hello, Hazel. I've been watching your videos for a while now. Thanks for entertaining us. Hello from Montreal. Hello. You know, I've never been to Quebec. I've been to Ontario. And that's about it. I've always kind of wanted to travel to Eastern Canada a little bit. Fishing spot. Right here. Hope's Landing. That seems to be the safe one. But it can be anywhere. You can fish in any of the green goo. In any of the Argus zones. And it should be fine. As long as it's like green goo. Should be good. My cat got back from radiation treatment. Is doing well. Well, that's good that he's recovering. No, doggo. Yeah, he's a shy boy. One day. Not anytime soon. Don't get too excited. But one day. I'm getting a slightly more normal dog. Joker's, he's cool. And he's a good boy. But, one, he's got his anxiety problems. And, we're keeping the dog. But the other thing that I want from a dog that he's not really providing for me is that, well, there's two things. One of them is that he's not very personable, and I kind of want an affectionate dog. That's one of the things that I like about dogs is that they like you back, and I don't think Joker likes me. So I want a dog that will like me. And I want a dog that we can just go walking, which we do. I walk with my dog every day, twice a day, 3 times sometimes. But I want one that inspires less conversation, because I'm somewhat shy. There's a reason why I talk to you guys online. And why I don't have much of a social life off the internet. I'm very shy in person. And I can talk to people. I'm just not terribly good at it. And my dog is so unique looking. And he's cool looking. And he's very cute. But a lot of people want to know more about him. Or they just have something to say. Or they have questions. And it's... I'll always stop and talk and answer questions and whatnot. But it happens a lot. It happens an awful lot. And I want a slightly more normal looking dog where I can just walk him. And it's just, that's it. They make bum bags for men, but they're worn on the hip and thigh. What's a bum bag? Like a fanny pack? I'd be suspicious of what is in the man bag. The delay makes me crazy, but when I really get into it, I can generally read the text as fast as I can scroll it. I see. My kitty was demanding snuggles, so he's currently laying on my chest, purring happily. That's so cute. Mine is really good about knowing when I need cuddles, which is very special. I complimented my brother-in-law on his purse. He scowled and thrusted at my sister. Oh, well, that's rude of him. You know, it's just a nice purse. You don't have the sewer rat. Given up on that one for a while. Your hubby has 2 of them. You had 3 of the Khadgar's head toy, and I haven't seen one. It's so unfair. I am with you on the Khadgar's head toy jealousy. I did 2 more. I did 2 because there's a Kirin Tour emissary up, but I did it again another 2 times, and I don't know how many times it's gonna take, but I don't have it. You know, I don't even. He's not even going battle for me. I can't even use him in any pet battle strategies. I don't see why he's so cool. You know, Khadgar's been asking me for dumb stuff all expansion and all of last expansion, and maybe I don't want his head. I mean, I do. I totally do, but it won't happen for me, so I've got to make do. I grew up with parents who hate dogs. My dream dog is a black and white husky. Hopefully my dream will come true after that. It's always so exciting when you finally get to the place where you can take care of the animal that you want. I felt like that when I got my cat, because I wasn't able to have a cat growing up, and I wanted one so badly. And it was everything I wanted it to be. I should make a pond nettle fishing group. One of my favorite things has been fishing groups. Yeah, but like fishing groups are good when there's like a benefit to having multiple people fishing in the same area, like a drop rate benefit. And there's no drop rate benefit for this, and there's a couple of drawbacks, one being that even though it's not the same level of volume, you can somewhat hear other people's bobbers. So it's a little bit easier to fish when you only have your sound. Secondly, you're not, like, nobody's bobber is getting in the way of anybody else's bobber. It's a little bit easier when it's just you. My dog is a total flirt with people, but is terrified of other dogs. But I still adore him. I love seeing Meatball run around with me. I wasn't able to ask her a question about the ring. It was called March of the Legion. I got it on my monk. Nice. Get a pity. It will adore you, and other people will avoid you. I've met some really cute pit bulls in my life. One of my coworkers at my last job had gotten a pit bull puppy that he brought in, and it was a pretty small puppy, and that was the cutest. I've seen a bunch of puppies. Not a bunch. I've seen some puppies, but that was easily the cutest one. Show us the doggo. If he comes in and decides that he wants something to do with me, then I will show him, but I'm not going to make him. That's what the fish is for. The fish can't leave. You guys can see the fish anytime, because he that's where he lives. He can't leave. But he's good there. He's got a 5-gallon tank all to himself. What's a good balanced realm? And should I make a Shami or a warrior for BFA? I don't think anybody can tell you what you should be. Follow your heart. But as far as picking a realm, if you want to know like realm population numbers and balance numbers, you want to go to Realm Pop. I always search it on Google because I can never remember the exact thing. I think it might just be Realm Pop. I don't want to say it just in case it's wrong, but look for, there's a WoW Realm Pop website that will give you very detailed statistics. It's very good. I started to say bum bag because fanny is derogatory in some countries, I hear. It means something else in other places for sure. Yeah, we do call them fanny packs in the US. We don't call them that very often because I think they're still really not cool unless you're a rapper with a lot of money, in which case anything is cool. But they're mostly well known for being worn by tired parents at Disneyland. What are you fishing for? We're looking for the pond nettle. It is a aquatic mount. Can be fished up anywhere in Argus. It's got a 1 in 2,000 drop rate. I am 141 attempts in. I am not particularly anticipating it dropping on this day, but you know, this is a nice place to sit and chat. I might need to get up and refresh and see if I have more tea. I've already had 2 cups. I think there might be a 3rd cup in that pot. I might be able to squeeze one out. I did it in the green one. You should print up a pamphlet about Joker to give to people who ask. It's a good idea. That's a good idea. Although I feel like people might take offense to that. It's like, I'm sorry, I don't want to talk to you, but here, do some reading. People might not take that nicely. I have a purse that's shaped like a shark. I call him Bruno and I love it. That's really cool. My purse is, I've never really had a purse I was terribly excited about. I mostly need my purse to be small enough that I don't lose stuff in it, and it needs to carry my phone and my wallet and my keys, and maybe like I keep an extra battery in there for recharging my phone if it gets low, especially during my Pokemon Go days. But the one I have now is just like it's like a cloth bag that I got at the Portland Saturday Market a couple of years ago, and it seems to be working fine. It's not terribly pretty or anything. It's just it's fine. But I've never had a purse I was like really excited about. I was never really a purse person. What job lets you just take a puppy in? I want that job. I mean, people foster puppies. That's a thing. Well, they do it with kittens. I don't know if they do it with puppies. They must. But then the problem is that as the puppies get adopted, you then have to fall in love with the puppy and then let it go repeatedly and a lot, and that seems like it would be emotionally hard. Fish will always be there, and the cat always comes back. The cat, she kind of like makes up for the hole that my dog not loving me leaves in my heart, because she always loves me. She's just very nice. She loves everybody. She's just such a sweet baby. Okay, I'm gonna get my tea. I'm gonna be right back. Here, I'll give you guys a slightly bigger fish cam. I'll be back in like a second. It'll be real quick. Ooh, that's my buddy. He's a crazy boy. That is an angry fish right there. That's just his personality. He's born like that. My dog decided he would put up with this. So, he's gonna say hi real quick. This is Joker. Joker is an Alaskan Kleekai. He is 7 years old. This is very much his full size. He is about 20 or so pounds. This is about how big he is. He's pretty tolerant. He's not, like, upset or distressed. He just prefers not to be picked up or whatnot. He does like neck scratches. Like, you get really in here. That's pretty good. He's a nice quiet boy unless you try and leave him alone. I will make you say hi one more time. Give me your butt. Oh, you get. Oh, don't kick over my tea. Good job. There you go. Yeah, he's an old man. 7 years old. There you go. Good boy. Here, I'm gonna give him a treat for that. He must be compensated. Come here, bud. Come here. Sit. Actually, right here. Here you go. Sit. Shake. Shake. Good boy, shake. There you go. Oh, don't choke. There, have the other one. I don't even make you do anything. There you go. Good boy. Alright, that's my dog. There you go. Fleta sure does have a fancy puddle. He is a nice fancy box there. I'm hoping that his constant state of excitement doesn't end up like shortening his lifespan. But I also don't know how old he was when we got him. And betta fish tend to live for somewhere between like 2 and 3 years or so. So, Fleta one day may look different and become Fleta the second, but hopefully not for a long time. All right, we are back to fishing. We got a couple of goodness. We've got a couple of friends now. Asking Kikais exactly what I want. They're basically like a mini husky, so the things to be aware of is that they have a similar personality to huskies. They are a little bit aloof. They are very high energy. They need a ton of exercise, and they shed like demons. Like demons. When I'm on my game, I vacuum twice a week, and he's tiny. They're also quite expensive as far as I know. I'm not really somebody to want to... I've always kind of preferred shelter dogs, but I married into this one. He was already with my husband when I got married, and I believe he was taken on... he was still expensive, but it was less than his brothers and sisters because Joker has a heart condition. So he was... he's not 100%, so he was cheaper, but I think in full health they can be pretty expensive. Luckily, his heart condition actually hasn't been a problem at all. It was like a heart murmur that he had as a baby dog, as a puppy, but it's... I think that the exercise that we do every day has really helped him be. And they're hard to find. He's got a combination of social anxiety and separation anxiety. He does, yes. He doesn't really want to be on you or touching you or really interacting with you, but he also doesn't want you to leave. He just wants to be in the same room and or apartment and just know that you're still there. Fishing spot is right here. Hope's Landing on the Antoran Wastes. Right by the teleport point. There's a nice safe spot to fish. Such a good boy. YouTube desktop notifications always come through late. Oh no. What did you think of the WoW Dev Q&A with Lore? First of all, there are some thoughts that I put in the vlog that is not out yet that I'm going to put out after the stream. I need to finish editing it, so probably tonight. But basically, I think it's alright. Nothing really upset me. Nothing was terribly surprising to me. It seemed mostly like an FAQ, and a lot of the things that they talked about had already been announced. Well, that's fine. He looks like a sled dog for hobbits. That is an excellent way to put it. How are his fins now in the rubber room? Any better? Unfortunately, no. They're not getting damaged in as large swathes as they used to be. It's not as much damage per day. But every now and then, there's still like a big bite missing. He must be biting them, because again, there's really nothing sharp in there. And the edge was healing clean, but it's got a little bit of fin rot back on it now. I'm still doing daily water changes, and aside from actually medicating him, that's really all I can do. And I don't really want to medicate him unless it looks like it's really necessary, because it can cause a lot more problems than it can fix with fish. So I'm still doing daily water changes. I'm probably going to do them for the lifespan of that fish, because as long as he's got fin damage, they're necessary. Otherwise, he gets infected. And he's always going to have fin damage, because he chews on his own fins. My next betta fish is probably going to be a plakat betta, because they have shorter fins that are less prone to this kind of problem. I had a heart murmur when I was a puppy too. I mean, the heart murmur is not funny, but I enjoyed your use of the phrase. Do you have a guide on faster rep grind for High Mountain since I finished questing? There's really no faster way to do it aside from just doing all the world quests. If you do all the quests, you do all the world quests. You do the Kirin Tor Emissary whenever that's up. Choose the High Mountain quest reward. Do missions. That's it. That's it. If you're exalted on other characters, you can funnel. I mean, I guess if you're exalted on other characters, you wouldn't need to. So no, there's not really else you can do. Set your grind. Asmongold's reaction, though? I missed it. What did he think? If you don't get the mount in the next 10, I'm gonna burn all of Blizz's tea? What? That seems drastic, and also, do they... What do you mean Blizz's tea? Does Blizzard have tea, and if so, do you have access to it? Is it good? Can you send me some? Hi, I'm new here. From Hungary? Welcome, Forever in Love. How are you doing? Oh, man. Wouldn't it be quite late in Hungary? Wouldn't it be, like, early morning? I hope you're gearing up for a good weekend. Nutty? Is that Martin? Yeah, 167. So if we assume it's a 1 in 2,000 drop rate, let's assume, generally speaking, that it's going to take, like, 3,000 casts to get it. That's probably, like, an upper end. Like, obviously, it can go higher than that, but I think that's the upper end of, like, the average spread. And after, what is this, like, half an hour, let's say, we're doing, like, 150 attempts in a half hour. Very rough math. Your rough math. So, like, 300 attempts an hour. So you'd be looking at ish 10 hours. 10 hours-ish of fishing. I can probably fish for 10 hours to get a mount. Not while only fishing, but if I'm already relaxing and, like, doing something else, you know, I'm watching a movie or I'm like, if I find a good podcast, I've been kind of wanting a good podcast, like a good educational podcast. I like learning things. I like learning things when I'm also just doing something like this, but I like a good credible one. They're having a disco next to you. There is quite a party going on. There's quite a good time. Greetings from Croatia? You mean to tell me that you can fish that muck? You don't get a whole lot. It's going to be a lot of trash that doesn't even vendor for very much, but there is a 1 in 2,000 drop rate-ish, approximately, of a pond nettle mount. Is this a fishing gold guide? No, it is not. How many toys should you try to get before BFA and the new toy achievement? If you would like to have that achievement day 1, then you're going to want to have 400 toys. But there's going to be a bunch of new toys in Legion, or in BFA rather. So it's not crucial, but I would say up to 400. I wouldn't really stress yourself out past 400, but up to 400 if you can. I don't think I'm going to make it. I don't think I'm going to make it to 400. With those 2 that we got today, I'm sitting at 329, so I'm missing quite a few of them. And I don't think there's any more really easy, like super easy things that I can just really quickly grab. A lot of them are going to come from time walking. So next time that there's a time walking event and I'm doing a stream, remind me if I forget. I want to figure out exactly how many things that I need and then designate characters to farm the things for each one. Metal straw doesn't give off any weird taste? No, not at all. Not in the slightest. I was also worried that it would get really hot, but it doesn't really get uncomfortably hot either. And it is dishwasher safe too, so I just throw them in the dishwasher. I will say, don't use them for any type of food, because they're harder to clean like that. I once used one of these straws for a smoothie, like a kale smoothie, that one time that I made myself a kale smoothie and ate it on stream. That was terrible. I put it in the dishwasher, but it didn't quite get all the kale out of it. And the next time I went to drink some tea, there was like a piece of like dried up dishwasher kale that like came into my mouth with the tea, and it was the grossest thing that had ever happened to me. Not ever, but like recently. It was not my favorite. I was so not happy about that. Probably the grossest thing since the bug flew in my eye. Fish usually die from green water IRL. Now, there is, I mean, obviously if it looks like this, then yeah. But fascinatingly enough, there is a type of algae that is waterborne that causes the water to look green, and some types of, I don't know about fish, but I know there's shrimp for sure that are filter feeding, and they'll actually eat that algae, and some of them live exclusively off of it. So without the green water, you can't keep them really well. So some people will do green water tanks where they're specifically cultivating this waterborne algae, so they can have like these big like fan filter feeding like cool shrimp and stuff that are just subsisting off of that. It's really neat. It looks really hard. I'm not going to do it, but it's kind of neat. Evening Hazel. Does anyone like my transmog? You're not wearing any pants though. Is it still a transmog if you're not wearing any pants? Time walking starts Tuesday. Oh boy. Have you done all the profession toys? I'm probably missing some. If I could buy them, then that's something. If I can just buy them on the auctioneers, then I'll do that in a jiffy. But if I can't just buy them and I actually have to do something profession-wise... There's a toy from Skullamonts. That must be easy, right? Is that hard to get? Is that one rare? That sounds like a fun thing to farm. Perform some quick surgery. Oh dear. Your tea sounds yummy. It is actually very good. It's better now today that I'm having it with a little bit of brown sugar. I think that because it's like a chocolate tea, it really needs a little bit of, like, you can have, and I'm sure many people enjoy chocolate teas that are just with milk or even just straight, but I find that I enjoy them more when they're sweetened a little bit, because I think that's just what my brain expects from chocolate. 391 toys. Ooh, you're close. I wish time walking was always happening. Seems weird they won't let you do it anytime you want. The reason for that, in my opinion, one, is to keep the weekly events being fresh and to have, like, that feeling of something new going on in WoW every week, like a different reason to log on and do stuff. Secondly, things like that, by condensing the availability of them, by making them only available for stretches of time at a time, they shorten the queue times, because there's all the people that are trying to do it are doing it during a shorter amount of time, so you don't have to wait as long to find groups. Same kind of reason why Trial of Style isn't available all the time. I love you, marry me. I'm already married. R.I.P. Kale Lace Tea. You make me want to go get tea now. That is really my purpose as a streamer. What if I was just hired by Big T to just sell tea to the masses? I feel like I should have a tea sponsorship. I've been kind of like waiting my whole life for somebody to send me that email. And there's all sorts of people asking me to promote their MMOs that aren't WoW, and I just delete those. But nobody's been like, yo, I will send you a bunch of free tea, and you can, like, if it was a really good tea that I legitimately enjoyed, I would totally do a discount code thing. You're just gonna send me, like, a lot of that. Just got the pawn nettle after 8 hours. Your stream just helped me continue. Congrats, Torg. Nice. And you're done. Whoa. What the hell? It's chocolate tea. Some types of tea will be flavored with the addition of cocoa nibs, which gives the tea a chocolate-like flavor. Most of them I actually don't like. This one in particular with the hazelnut is a little bit of an exception, but they're kind of like dessert teas. I worked hard to find the least amount of clothing possible. I feel like you're really achieving that dream. You've made it. Like a mocha, but tea, less sweet than a mocha. This isn't terribly sweet. It's just sweet enough because I added brown sugar to it. But for the most part, it's kind of like a... It's not as intense as like a hazelnut ice cap, but it's kind of in the same flavor family. You can always farm for the dice through pickpocketing, nice and chill. My monitor goes black only when I play WoW. Any advice on how to fix it? I don't know off the top of my head, but what I would probably do would be to start Googling that. Do you know if Marks of Honor are being moved, or will they stay in Legion World Quests? That's something I should check out. I know they're redoing how PvP gear is obtained going forward. I would assume that Marks of Honor are going to continue to be currency for current and old stuff. I don't know if you'll still be able to get them. That's a good question. I don't know. Do you have the Field Medic or Lady Lord of War? I don't have Field Medic, and I'm not getting it. I have no plans to do that. I don't think I have Lady of War either. Is that from, I'm gonna need more keywords than that. Lady of War. Why won't it tell me? What's it from? What's it? That was like, was that, excuse me. Was that the Garrison Gladiator Sanctum thing? Or is that the one where you... I'm thinking of the Horde and of the Alliance. I don't think I have it. Fudge green tea? Fudge green tea? Fudge? Goodness. Big T in here. I thought I was the biggest conspiracy theorist. Get ready to pay 25% more for your Chinese teas. Drink Arizona green tea? Does this make me a bad tea person? No. You can drink anything that you like, and it's probably not going to make you a bad person unless it's like somebody else's blood. Or like really unethically sourced something. But generally speaking, no, you get, drink whatever makes you happy. Best luck with beta. Mine died in the first month. Aw, that sucks. He's been doing good. He's been doing pretty good. I've been less worried about him ever since I got the cycle stabilized in his aquarium. It was something that I should have done more research on before I adopted a beta, and I'm glad that I know about it now because I'm currently setting up a bigger aquarium for more and different types of fish, And I'm doing a full fishless cycle this time because I know more about it. Because that can definitely be something that can cause you to lose a lot of fish in the first couple of months while it's getting set up. You get crazy, like, nitrite and ammonia spikes that can really harm fish. So I'm setting up my big long one. I'm not showing you guys until it's done. I'm not going to show you until it's done. I'm thinking about doing a video, but, like, I can't just put a fish video on my YouTube channel about WoW. People will get really mad. Partly within reason. Especially when there's a bunch of WoW videos I need to make. I've been thinking, and it's very low on my list of things to do because there's a bunch of other stuff that's much higher, but I was kind of thinking about just, like, putting a fresh coat of paint on my other channel. I think it's YouTube at Hazelnutty Life, I think is what it was. Just not so I can upload regularly to it or have any kind of a plan, but just like a place to dump other stuff. Like if I feel like I really want to make a video about a fish, like an aquarium, showing what I'm doing with it, or like how to do a thing with fish, or like a tea video that's just about tea, or just something that's like super off the rails, like a, you know, like a K-pop reaction or something. Like something that's not anything to do with gaming or tech, because Hazelnutty Games is gaming and it's tech. I'll keep doing my consumer tech stuff on there, but just dump them on the other channel. No, maybe. But again, I've got other stuff that's more important. Also, speaking of K-pop, happy Blackpink Day to anybody that cares. It was beautiful. Anyone struggled finding good weapon styles? I'm leveling my Void Elf Hunter, almost 60. Bow transmogs suck. There are some cool bows, but I feel like the best bows are the artifact skins. Hopefully you can get some of those. Isn't cha the word for tea? It is in many, many languages. It's funny. There's a reason for... So, like, half of the world has cha or something related to that word, very close to it, for tea, and then the other half has tea or te. And I think the difference is whether the tea was originally transported there over land or by water. I don't remember why that's true, but I read it in the tea book that was gifted to me in a mail time. And that's why those are the two, like, word families for tea. But most of the Asian countries call it cha. I know in Korean, that's certainly true. And then, the word for cold also starts with cha, so when you've got cold tea, it's like chai cha chigapsen? No, I don't know. I'm not gonna try and do it on stream, but it's like, you've got a lot of chas in a row there. What if the person is consenting to their blood? I'm not even gonna go there. That's something you're gonna have to work out with them. What are your impressions with guy gamers playing female tunes? I would say follow your heart and do whatever you want. It's not really, I mean, I have some male tunes. I don't think it really makes a big deal. I do have a slightly odd feeling about it. Like when I see people that I know as like a very manly man playing a female character, it feels weird, but it's not a problem. There's nothing wrong with it. Yes, Blackpink, yes. We've been waiting so long, and it just went so hard. I'm not sure about the rest of the mini album yet. I listened to it a couple times today, and I'm waiting for it to grow on me. But that title track though. This WoW video is about fishing, so including fish information is fine. That's true. Please start a second channel. I actually have one. I just have put very few things on there, and it's not something that I want to commit to regularly handling because I have proven consistently that I can't handle one. I am trying so hard to handle regular uploads, and I've been good about streams. I've been good about not missing streams, but I've been trying real hard to just stick to my schedule with one, and it's... I plan to do one video a day, but most of my videos take longer than a day to do, and then I just end up behind, like, every time. I need to revise my expectations, but I just feel like if I can just work harder, if I can just work a little harder, a little faster, or, like, take a slightly shorter lunch break, then I can put one video out a day. What are you trying to fish? The mount? Yep. I think that's the only thing worth fishing out here. I think that's the only thing that you can get. As an avid aquarium keeper and WoW junkie, I approve of that idea. The time difference is insane, but I finally get the chance to say hi, Hazel, so hi. Hello. Best hunter bow is the blue Space Age PvP bow. Oh, you know what one of my favorites is? Is the PvP, actually. Hunter PvP bows are really cool, but like the Scorpion one. It was a Warlord's PvP bow. And it's like a green, I mean, there's different colors of it, but it's like a scorpion, and it's got like venom dripping from it. It was a really good one. Shaw of Anger is actually the Tea of Anger. Almost. Does Flutta ever really leave the front of the tank? Yes, sometimes. He has different moods. So he has this mood, which is I would like to stay in the front of my tank and go back and forth a lot. He has his feed me mood, which happens when he's noticed me, and that he will go up to the top right-hand side of the tank, because that's where I feed him, and that's how he tells me that he would like to be fed. And then he has his third mood, which is exploring. He'll go back through the whole tank. He'll swim around the plants. He does go into his coconut cave now, and he'll go in there to sleep, and he'll sleep like on the bottom, but for the most part, he just does that. Cerulean, thank you very much for becoming a sponsor. Welcome to the Squirrel Squad. I hope that you're enjoying the stream. Appreciate having you here. We've had a ton of new sponsors today. Thank you guys so much. It's very, very helpful, and it's really cool having you guys here. Appreciate it. Where are you? Can you look at the map for a moment? I am right here, Hope's Landing in the Antoran Wastes. Nice, safe place to fish for this. What are we fishing for? We're looking for the pond nettle, which is an underwater mount. Looks like this pond nettle, that thing. 1 in 2,000-ish drop rate fishing out here in the Antoran Wastes. Well, actually anywhere in Argus, Greenwater and Argus. And I am 200 attempts in, and it has not happened. Did they say you can keep the 20 gallon? It's what it was? Yes. They said that anything 20 and under, totally fine. Don't even need a permit or anything. They said if I wanted to go over 20, then I would need to get my renter's insurance to sign off on it, but I'm not going over the 20 here. So yeah, it's a 20 gallon long. It's a 20 gallon long. So 30 inches long, 12 inches high, 12 inches deep. I'm so excited about it. Oh, well, thank you. So excited about it. I know I want, and it's kind of good that it's taking so long to cycle, or not even that long. It's only been like 2 weeks, but it's kind of good that it's taking a while to cycle, because I don't know what we're putting in. I'm dithering so much over the fish. I know I want Corridoras. I know I want a Bolivian ram, and then I need something else in there, and it could be a school of Corys. I'm sorry, not a school of Corys. I'm getting one of those. It could be a school of Tetras, like a little school of Tetras. It could be like a couple of male guppies, although I don't know about guppies. It could be like, I was looking at like maybe like 5 cherry barbs, maybe. They're supposed to be very friendly. Could be like, maybe I forget the school and I just go for like a honey gourami up there. I don't know. It's so hard to pick. It's gonna be cool. Tips for a rogue. What to do's and don'ts to start and don't completely suck. So I can't really tell you much about playing rogue because I am that person that just sucks. But I would say anytime that you're trying to get serious about a class, figure out where your resources are. Figure out what the website or the Discord or both is that have the people that actually know what's up. And they're going to have created guides for you. I think every class has a good resource like that. The Discords will have pinned messages with links to like their guides. And the rogue one, actually, I joined them all actually because I was looking for something for YouTube. I joined them all. The rogue one is called Ravenhold. So figure out what your resources are, get familiar with where to find the good info, and then study their guides, I would say. For Priest, I know it's How To Priest, but the rogue one's Ravenhold. Will you play beta anytime soon? So I play beta almost every day for video stuff, which, as you can see, is going pretty slowly, but I'm planning on doing maybe some non-scheduled extra beta streams, probably maybe one this weekend, and then maybe some early next week, specifically to run dungeons, because I need to gear up and get through a bunch of normal dungeons and a bunch of heroic dungeons, because I need to get to the point where I can run the mythic dungeons, get the footage, make the guides. Now that I know that I can run mythic dungeons on beta, I need to get a guide for every one of them. And I also want to get a guide for every raid boss, and I also want to get a guide for every pet tamer, and I also have a list of other videos that I want to do, and I'm making like one every 3 days right now, and I only have 2 months left until BFA, so I'm going to die, but that's one of the things that I want to do. I have like a guide list that I want to get through. Fishing for green slimy fish. Add-on, this is Rarity that's telling me this here. That is a Rarity. Rarity. Nice peaceful stream to help take my mind off stuff. So, we're actually like 10 minutes over. I was just really enjoying talking about this and fishing, but I'm actually done. I'm done, and I need to finish editing the vlog so I can put that out. There is going to be a video. I talk more about my thoughts about the dev Q&A. I answered some questions, so I'm gonna finish editing that, get that out. Thank you guys very much for watching. Shout out to all of our new sponsors. I really, really appreciate it. And shout out to everybody that was here in chat, everybody that was lurking in chat that was watching but didn't want to type or wasn't in a position to type. Appreciate you guys too. And I appreciate everybody watching on the VoD after the fact. You guys are all just precious and wonderful. I hope that you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day.